All right, welcome, future Eagles. Welcome to Central Texas College. My name is Mariceli Santiago. I am the Director of Student Life and Activities, and it is my pleasure to welcome you guys here today. As the Director of Student Life and Activities, I get to be the first one in this orientation, so I am always very happy about that, and I am grateful that you are here. Hopefully today, the goal is to help you figure out how you can be successful at CTC, whether you're brand new or you've already taken a few classes and you just want to make sure you're doing what you need to do to be successful. Hey, let's make this happen, okay? Ooh, so here we have a whole bunch of students that we've been kind of chatting back and forth. Oh, let's see, we have a few people. They're here in Texas, but okay, Sylvia, I think you're winning as to how the person who's here the furthest away, who originally is from the furthest away. We have somebody who's from a different country. We had a lot of Georgia and California in the house, so welcome, welcome. I'm excited. Today we're going to have a fun-filled day. It's going to have a lot that we're going to try to cover in a very short period of time, but we want to make sure ultimately that you are successful and that you know what you need to do to be successful. That's the bottom line. So we're going to go over a few things. I don't know if you're seeing the correct screen, but we are going to see if you are or if you're not. In any case, the agenda for today, this is the agenda. We're going to talk about a lot of things and we're trying to cram it all in between now and 3:45. We're going to talk to academic advising, success coaches, dual credit, library. We're going to talk about what Blackboard is and how that can help you be successful, as well as faculty. We're going to have some faculty that you're going to have a chance to talk to. And we're going to talk about student rights and responsibilities. And we're also going to have financial aid, veteran services, and talk a little bit about security and safety. So that's a lot of what we're going to discuss today. But it is time for you guys to hear our official welcome. And now it's time for me to introduce to you my boss, the one, the only. Lots of love to her, Dean Julie Starkey, Dean of Student Success and Persistence. I saw you. Julie, are you there? I know I saw you. She leave me? Julie? Julie, you there? Where'd she go? I know she was there. I saw her. Did she leave me? Maybe she did. I don't know what
She's
happened.
here. She's trying to get
Oh.
unmuted.
Julie's
Oh.
there, but yeah.
Hello. Julie, I gave you this great welcome. What happened?
There we go.
There you are. There
Okay,
you are.
I'm
Yay!
so sorry, guys. I'm so sorry. It wouldn't let me unmute. I'm so sorry. Guys, I'm so sorry. That's technical difficulties. And Courtney ran in to help me. Woohoo! Let's give it up for Courtney for the save. My name is Julie Starkey, and I'm the Dean for Student Success and Persistence. And I am so excited that you're here starting off this January. I don't know where you're from. You might be cold, because I hear it's cold in most parts of the United States. Certainly it's cold here in Texas, and that's why we had to move this fun event to today. But thank you for changing your schedule around and agreeing to work with us. You are taking the first step necessary to be successful, and that is attending new student orientation, because you're going to get a wealth of information. And you're going to get your questions answered. What I want to encourage you to do is today, I want you to type your question that you have, anything that you have in the chat. We've got a lot of people monitoring that chat, and we will try to answer all of those questions. We might put you off if we know that there is a topic going to be covered later in today's session and say, hold on, we're going to get to that. But don't be afraid, because that's the first thing that I need you to do from this day forward, is that you've got to advocate for yourself. And part of that is asking your questions and getting to know the resources that we have for you. But what I want you to do today is, all of us that are going to talk to you, I want you to remember at least one person's name. And we're all going to be putting our contact information. Make a connection or just remember somebody. And if you have something that comes up as you're trying to manage something, reach out to that staff member. All of us, any of us, are willing to connect with you, are willing to help you, are willing to address an issue, make sure you get in the right staff members' hands. So reach out to us. But I would be remiss if I did not give you my few tips for success. I think that sets the groundwork for today's session. And so I want to go over really briefly. This isn't going to be long. Really briefly, these are some of the things that I know that you need to do if you want to be successful here. And that's what I want, because I want to see all of you at graduation. That's the highlight, is we want to see you walk across that stage. And so this is what I want you to do. Number one, when you start later in the presentation today, you're going to talk to faculty, and they're going to talk to you about the importance of the syllabus. The syllabus is your contract with your faculty, and that's your contract for that particular class. Every class can run differently, but it is critical that you understand your syllabus, you read your syllabus, you print that syllabus out, you hold that syllabus near and dear to your heart. Understand your syllabus. That's your roadmap. That is your roadmap for success in each of your classes. So make sure you pay attention to your syllabus. Number two, I want you to go to class every single day. Every time the class meets, I want you to go to that class. And if you are in an online class, I want you to log on to that class multiple times a week. I want you to do every single assignment for your class. I don't want you to say, I don't need those 5 points. Yes, you do. You need every point that's there. So you've got to attend class. You can't schedule a dentist appointment during that. And you need to turn in all of your assignments. It's really critical, because what you're going to find when you talk to our faculty is they typically don't give extra credit at the end of a semester. What they do is they build all those points into the semester. It's in your syllabus. It's outlined clearly. And they expect you to monitor your points, ask for help if there are problems, go to tutoring if there's questions or concerns, and stay on top of all of that. In order to do that, you've got to go to class and you've got to turn every single thing in. The next thing I'm going to ask that you do is use the resources. I've kind of talked about whether it be tutoring. You're going to hear from the library in a little while. They are an amazing resource. The hardest thing in using a resource is opening that door, walking through that door and saying, I need help. Please do that. And that, I'm saying that figuratively. Many of you are going to be working with us online. Reach out, send an email. I need help. I need help. I need help. Learn how to say that today. I need help, and ask for help. And that is your first step towards utilizing the resources that we have. And you're going to find today that we have unbelievable resources for you to be successful. And I want you to take advantage of all those. And then the last thing is I want you to, and I've already mentioned this, the importance of advocating for yourself. I don't know if you're coming from high school to here, if you're a dual credit student, if you've been out in the work world for a while, whatever it is, you've got to come into this experience and you've got to advocate for yourself. You've got to ask the question. You've got to get to know your faculty. You've got to talk to them. You've got to tell them when there's a concern. You've got to tell the resources. You've got to ask for these resources. You have to know what you need and speak up. Those are your tips for success. And I promise you, if you follow those, you're going to have a really great experience. So please do that. And thank you so much for being here today. And I want to see all of you at graduation. So I'm going to turn it back over to Mariceli. Wait, we can't hear you, Mariceli.
Hello, now it's my turn to be unmuted.
I know.
You're right. It's my turn. All right, guys, welcome. Thank you. All right, we're going to get this party rolling. There are going to be some times when I'm going to show you some slides, and a lot of this has to do with just the fact that I need you to please just know what's going on, really. It's really just about being able to know what the heck is going on and being able to maybe take a screenshot, keep the information, because that's the other part of this, right? We want to make sure that you're able to remember the information. So to do that, I will now do something and share my screen. This is going to be one of those slides. I don't want this. Why do I see your face? This is weird. Okay, you should be seeing a slide that says welcome to CTC. And so these are some emails. This is right here, one of the ones that it's like, oh yes, I definitely need somebody to help me figure this out. I don't know where to go. This is one of those resources. If you don't remember anything else, one of these emails, you can reach out to us and we will do what we can to be able to help you figure out what we're going to, how we can help you. So this is one of those times when I say, yes, let's go ahead and take that screenshot. And so take a moment, take a screenshot, keep it. We're going to do this throughout the day. So be prepared to do that. It's just an easy way for us to get information to you so that you can know what's going on. Okay. Now, we're going to keep rolling. The next thing we're going to have academic advising, I hope. And I don't know, Ms. Hutchins, are you there? I don't see. Are you?
Sure.
There you are. Yay!
I didn't think it was me yet.
It's you. We changed stuff up this time around. I know normally you're a little bit later, but it's time for you. We're going to talk today about academic advising and get this part rolling. And I may have changed some stuff, but don't worry. Can you please go with flow with this?
Yeah, absolutely.
So can you just help us figure out academic advising? I know somebody had some questions like, how do I figure out my schedule?
Okay.
Maybe you can help guide us.
Sure thing. So I'm Eva Hutchins. I'm the Associate Dean of Enrollment Services here at CTC. So I am over the advising department. Excuse me. So you may have already met with one of my departments or advisors and worked with them to get your schedule. You may still need to do that. No panic. We're still here and we'll be happy to help. I'm going to go kind of just in a general, like who we are, what we can provide, and kind of like what we go over. So we're there to help you get started, first of all, in just selecting your degree program, making sure you're on the right path. And then from there, it's helping you enroll in classes, making sure you're taking the right classes to earn that degree or certificate. We might be going over things like TSI. You may have heard that, you may not have. It's not required for everybody, but it is required for students who are pursuing an associate degree or a level 2 certificate. If you're pursuing a level 1 certificate, you may not have even heard that term, and that is fine. Your TSI is a state requirement, making sure that you're ready for college level reading, writing, and math courses. So when you're on an associate degree, all of those courses are going to be, all of those areas are going to be a part of your program. And so it's the state's wanting to make sure everybody's ready to successfully pass those. And then from there, it's, things like making sure you're staying on track. If you ever have issues with your instructor or like, don't know what's going on, you may ask your advisor, you may ask your success coach. There's lots of different resources here at CTC. Usually it's like just making sure you're getting to the right place if you're not sure exactly where to go. And then when you're finishing with CTC, which if you're just starting, I know it's kind of like, wait a minute, why are you talking about finishing? But it's never too early to plan for transfer. So if you're planning to move on to a 4-year degree and you have questions, you want to make sure you're set up, to do that as seamlessly as possible. Make sure you mention that to your advisor at the beginning because we can help with that process. And then at the end, hopefully we're helping you file for graduation and then seeing you at the graduation ceremony. That's what we're here for. So that's just kind of us in a nutshell. Specifically today, if you want me to, I can go ahead and sign into Eagle Self-Service and show you kind of around that. Eagle Self-Service is your student account. There's different things that you sign into. This is the one where you go in and see your degree plan, see your progress, register for classes, view your financial aid, things of that nature. Let me see if I can get my, if I can share my screen. It's so little, I think I hope I'm sharing the right one. All right, y'all are seeing Eagle Self-Service. It's hopefully going to work. It's been a little, it's a Wednesday. It's been a little off and on today. I've had some times where it's just fun. But when you log in, I'm in a test account, so this isn't a live student. And when you log in, it's going to say hello, welcome. Your information is going to be at the top. And then I call these excuse me, I call these tiles or your modules, whatever you want to call them. And so this is what your screen should see. It should look something like this with all of this information. If you're logging in on a mobile device, it'll be more linear, more up and down, instead of as wide as this is. But if you log in on a computer, you should see this. Student planning is where you can see your degree plan, see what classes are left, register for them, and then see your schedule. Your banking information, financial aid, student finance tax information, those are transcripts. Those are a lot of the common ones that you're using throughout your life cycle. I know that later on the financial aid office will be here, so I won't go over any of that. But if you ever have any questions about what you're seeing on your self-service and you're not sure who to go to, you can always reach out to your advisor. So I'm going to click on student planning. And then it's going to have two options. As a brand new student and registering for classes, I'm always going to tell you to click on Go to My Progress because that's going to show you your degree plan. Hopefully it will load. And I believe this student, I've got this test student starting on a business program. And this is what I've been dealing with today. So y'all can just see a little moment of
While that's loading,
While
there's a
it's
question
loading,
maybe
you
you can help answer.
Yeah.
In Eagle Self-Service, the password is their birthday or something.
Well,
That's the
your
question.
temporary password would have been emailed to you from the if you're a brand new student and you've applied, you got an email with a temporary password, and then you have to create a new one. So if you've already created a new one, it's whatever you created. Your temporary password, it's a format. It's a set format. I would have to get somebody to give that to me because I don't want to say it wrong, and I always want to make sure I say it right. While that's loading, let me real quickly phone a friend.
So while she's doing that, I know you have a lot of questions about materials and stuff. We're going to discuss that in a minute. So I just want to make sure that you guys are aware. We're going to go over that. Also, there's some questions about financial aid. We have somebody coming about financial aid. I don't know the actual answer as to what's going on with financial aid. I'm going to let them answer it because they're the ones that know like the most current information and can be actually answer the correct stuff. We are always hesitant to give you information that is not correct. There's also a few other programs that we use that do include part of the password is the birthday. And I think that's what you were talking about, Alyssa, just as an FYI.
Yeah, there's a few different ones.
We are looking to shortly in the future make some changes. And so be on the lookout for that. We're going to be able to probably within the next year make some changes as to how you access all of these programs. Oh, look, something came up.
Well, I switched it back to home because sometimes you can trick it. I'll once I get the standard format for that initial password, I will put that into the chat. Oh, I didn't mean to do that. So I'm gonna see if I can trick it into loading. Yeah. All right. So this is what you'll see when you're on your student account and you're looking at your degree plan. Degree plans, associate degrees are going to be broken into three areas: the developmental requirements, your general requirements, and your major requirements. Your goal is to get your general requirements and your major requirements to turn green complete. That's as you take classes, that's what you're looking for. Developmental requirements are there if needed. So not every student needs them. If you don't need them, that's fine. It'll stay red. It's not required as part of your program. They're there as needed. So every student is different on that. So when you're looking at your program, you can expand all right here, or you can individually just look at that particular area of your program. So I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to expand the general education requirements and show you what it looks like. So this is a test student. So you can see that for communications, there's 2 groups and 2 of 2 are completed. So it's green, that area is done. If you want to look at it, you can always open it up and see the details, hide the details. You can see from here, the math is what's left. If I hide that, I can go down to the major requirements and I can see there's There's 4 different groups here, A through D, and then each of those has its own set list of classes, and you would be able to see that by clicking on the show details. Keep in mind, sometimes your degree plan will say, take this group and your choices are this class or this class. Make sure you read it thoroughly because that or is important. It's a small word, 2 letters, but it means I only need one of that list. So I'm not taking 2 classes there, I'm just taking one if it says or. Okay, so sometimes it's like, oh, I'm looking, oh, look at all these classes I have to take. That's a lot of classes. I'm very overwhelmed. Make sure you go back and look at it again and see if it said that word or, and that'll make that list a lot shorter. And so that's how you can look for what's required in your program. To register for classes, once you've said, okay, I'm going to go ahead and take care of that math under my general requirements. So I'm going to click on show details and show details one more time, and then I can look through what all is from that list. There are repeats in here because we've had course changes, so it's always the top one if they're a repeat. So it's algebra, math for science, it's all these different options within your program that you could take. So if you were interested in algebra, you can click on the course subject and prefix, which is that MATH 1314, and that's going to take you to where you can actually register for classes. Classes have to be attached to something specific. It has to be attached to a specific start date, a specific teacher, and a specific class format. We attach it using what we call section codes. And so the section codes are what you're filtering. If you don't filter it, you're going to see a lot of different things once you open it up, and it might not apply to your area. So you can see under locations, there's Central Campus, which is here in Killeen, Distance Learning, which is online, Fort Cavazos, Fort Johnson, and Fort Knox. So if you're wanting Fort Knox, cool, click on it. But if you're not and you're wanting online, then you want to click on that. If you don't, you'll see everything and it can get a little bit muddy when you're looking through and filtering it down. So if I'm looking for online, I can do that, and then I can view available sections. Now this is a test account that is living in the past. So this is fall classes. You'll see spring classes when you're looking in your live account, but you can see what it's like to look for classes once you filtered it. The icon under the seats is going to tell you what that means, what this set of numbers means. If you hover over it, it's going to say available, capacity, and waitlisted. One second. So if you have to make sure there's an available seat here. If it's 0 or waitlisted, I can't do it. You can't do anything about that. Like that means that class is no longer available to register for. For every class, there's a faint gray box outline, and it's outlining all the information that I have highlighted here. To register for classes, I always say it's kind of like shopping online. You're adding it to your cart first. Adding it to your cart is only planning it. It's not registering. There's 2 steps to register. So once you add a class, you'll notice it says add section. Next step is to register. The class details are going to pop up. It's going to show you the start date. It's going to show you the end date. It's going to show you the instructor. And it's going to tell you if there's any kind of placement, like any kind of prerequisite prior to, and it's going to give you a course description. So if there's a prerequisite, if you've met that prerequisite, it's going to let you register. If you haven't, it won't. If you ever have a question about, have I met this or not, that's an advisor question. So reach out to your advising office. So once you hit add section, it's going to pop up a little message here on the right saying you planned it. And then under academics, under the logo, you can click on academics and register for classes. And then that will take you to, it's going to pop up fall 20 or spring 25 when you do that. And it's going to show you that you've planned a class over here. Okay, it's not going to let me register for it. You'll have a register button. If your account is able to be registered, it'll be right here over the calendar. But that's how you look at classes, how those section informations are formatted, and where you go to register for them. If you haven't done that yet, I don't expect anybody to watch this and just like, oh, I can do this now on my own. I don't need any help. You may need help. You may need to contact your advising office or who, you know, if you're working with somebody specifically, and get help with planning a good schedule that first time, because there's lots of different individual things that can go into that. When you're registering, you're always going to see a window up at the top that gives you some information about payment deadlines, the last day to drop, things about Army Ignited if you're an Army TA student. And then there's this last one that says if you're experiencing an issue while you're registering due to a prerequisite or enrollment block, email registration.help@ctcd.edu. Be sure to include your full name and CTC ID or date of birth when you email. First of all, I don't know if you've had anybody talking yet, but no matter who you're emailing, we cannot help you if you don't tell us who you are. If you email us from jones1234@gmail.com and you say, hey, I need some help registering for classes, I'm going to have to reply back and say, hey, you didn't give me any information. I need you to provide your full name and CTC ID or date of birth. Without those pieces of information, I cannot answer your question. I will never, and my team will never answer a question that you ask me about your account, about your school information without looking at your file. You wouldn't want us to, because that information is so specific to you. So when you email, please, please, please provide that information. It's the same with your instructors. It's the same with any other office. We love to know who you are. We want to get to know you, and we want to make sure we answer your question correctly. Doing that just slows down the process, you know, sending it without that. So please make sure you provide that information. And so that's a great, that messaging is at the top of all of your screens when you're in that area of your account. So if you're ever saying, I should be able to enroll, but it's not letting me enroll, send an email to that one. That goes to somebody in my team, and we'll research it and see what's going on. We can't research it without knowing who you are and what the issue is. So make sure you tell us, this is the class I was trying to roll in, and it told me this, or send me a screenshot. All right, so that's self-service. Is there anything in self-service I did not cover that I should have, Mariceli?
I think the main question I had seen before was making sure that they see where the schedule is, like where to go to class.
So when you're on student planning, you can, from your homepage, click on student planning and then go to plan and schedule. And then your calendar is going to live here. It's going to say your term, make sure you're on the right term. Anytime we're kind of in between, like if this was December, you might have had spring registered, but it was still showing fall. You might have to use the arrows to page over to the right term. And then you can print that calendar schedule from here. It's going to be right here, or you can just go online and view it. Classroom courses are going to show up on your calendar because they're telling you you're supposed to be in class at this time on this day. Online classes are going to show up at the bottom, and they're going to say classes with no meeting time. That's because online classes don't require you to log in at a specific time, and so they don't have a time attached to them. Online classes mean you have to make sure your work's done by whatever assignment deadline you have, but you're not obligated to log in at a specific time. And so those fall to the bottom. When you print your schedule, it will show you all the classes, classroom, online, whatever combination you have. And when it prints, it will say classroom, and then the time and the, you know, the day, the building and all of that information. If it's online, it'll say 100% online. So it'll tell you when you print it up.
The other question I saw that you can help answer is about JST credits. And do we accept them from military training?
CTC does evaluate a JST, which is a Joint Services Transcript. If you are currently in the military, we will do it. You'll get evaluated as soon as they process you once you come in as a student. You can always reach out to that office, and I'll get their email in here. As far as like if you're waiting and you're not sure when it's going to be done, you want to reach out to that evaluation office specifically. If you are prior service, we will evaluate it after you've taken at least 2 classes with CTC. So just keep that in mind. They won't do it until you have at least 2 courses with CTC that you've passed successfully.
Thank
I
you.
can also, when I click on a new tab, are you still seeing that?
Mm-hmm.
Okay, let me. Okay. I will show you, we'll go get the email address for that. The evaluations office, if you hover over students and go down to more resources and then go to evaluated credit at the bottom. This is all their information, and I believe their contact information is at the bottom. Yes, it is. So I will post this in the chat. And if you're not Army, you would want to email the other one. If you're a different branch, or out of service, you can email those too. But yes, we do evaluate them. Keep in mind, we only award credit if it's required in your program that you're actively on. So if you're on criminal justice degree plan with us and you don't have any credit from your JST that matches what's required in your program, then you won't receive any credit. But if we can match it up and you have something that's related, then we'll award that from there. And if you have prior college, you have to have that on file. And it talks about this on this website. Official transcripts have to be received before we can review your JST. So if you have JST plus another college, you want to make sure you get that other college transcript to us. And you want to get college transcripts to us anyway, regardless.
Mm-hmm.
Good rule of thumb. Any other questions?
I'm trying to see if there's anything else that would normally be something you would answer. Because we're getting lots of really good questions here. Yep, I'm not seeing anything specific right now, which is
I will
good.
say, I don't know when I see something about financial aid there. Just keep in mind they're going to be on later. But with our 2-week break, they've been working very hard to process things if you're still waiting on your financial aid. Depends on when you submitted it and the order they're in. But they are working very, very diligently to get all of those posted.
Ooh, we have a really good question from Paola here. It says, I took a math course last semester, but it wasn't the correct one for my program. When I tried to re-register, it says I'm not allowed to retake that course. What can I do about that?
I would need to know the specifics of that. I would really encourage you to reach out to your advising office, and I'm just going to go ahead and show you how to get to that, and I'll post it in the chat as well, the link to this. So under students and more resources, once you're there, click on advising, and I'm going to share that link before I forget. And then you can click on the advising office that best works for you. This is the other thing. I have multiple advising offices. If you're local and you want to call or email your advisor, all of our information is here, as well as our link to book an in-person or virtual appointment, which you can do. Eagles on Call is available for anyone who's here, not here, online, whatever. It doesn't really matter. They're a call center for advisors, so they don't see you in person, but they will email and work with you on the phone and live chat. So they're non-traditional hours. So they're Monday through Friday, 6 a.m. to 11 p.m. So they are a great resource if you are maybe working during the day and you don't get off until later in the evening. They're open until 11 p.m. Central Standard Time. So keep that in mind. That's for any student, doesn't matter where you're located. Our Kate Center advising is available for any of our career and technical programs down in the Kate Center. So office technology, industrial technology, and graphics. If
I
you're
saw
a student
HVAC here too, someone.
Yeah, any of those programs, that's your contact information. So you can go to that link I sent and open the tab for that and get their information. And then we do accept international students. So if you are an international student, you most likely already have worked with your advisor. There's only one, and Michelle, she is going to be your person who maintains all of your records for international purposes. And that would be who you would want to contact if you are having any questions. Or if you know somebody who's wanting to be here from and study from here from overseas, then you can always give them her contact information.
So
And then if you're not here locally, but you are close to an office out of state, you can click on the Continental tab. Yes.
So I want to give a hot tip to Paola because she said she wants to take organismal biology. And for registration purposes, those classes can be kind of hard to get into when you have all those biologies with labs and stuff like that. Hot tip for anybody. Actually, this works for anybody, but specifically for anybody with like things like anatomy and physiology. I know somebody in there who wants to be an RN. This goes for you too, because you're going to need to take some of these classes. You need to get prepared and you need to go into Eagle Self-Service early because those classes fill up very, very quickly. There is limited seats, and we want to make sure that you know exactly what it is that you need and what classes you need so that you're registering the day that we open registration. If you wait too long, it might be very difficult for you to get the class that you need. So this is a hot tip you're going to get here. Everybody else that didn't come to orientation may not get it. So just keep that in mind because it's very important. We're going to explain HyFlex in a little bit. We're going to have Matt Lyles. He's going to come in and he's going to explain what HyFlex is, Tanya, and how to get a hold of your professor. You guys have some really good questions. A lot of this is going to be for our faculty, so just kind of hang in there because they're going to help answer questions about where to find resources, what do you need for your class. You guys are ready. We'll get there. We'll get there in a little bit. Okay.
The syllabus question, you're going to get your syllabus for your class once Blackboard has been assigned. All classes receive a Blackboard account, and that's the Friday prior to the start date. So we're not quite there yet as far as getting your professor's specific syllabus.
There's a generic one, but that's not the one that's going to tell you exactly what your professor wants. It's just going to tell you very general information about what the class offers you. So you're definitely, this is why we're going to go over Blackboard.
Has a specific one that talks about what they want, their expectations, like how they want you to contact them, things like that.
Mm-hmm.
They're great questions.
Yeah, no, I'm excited. We have a good group. Let's see, anything else with regards to registration?
So Blackboard just came through that question. Blackboard comes in the Friday prior to your start date. So keep in mind, you've had available to you, especially if you're doing online classes that start every month. So January, February, March, look at your schedule, see when your start date is. Don't panic if it's a February class and you don't see it this Friday. We're not there yet. You'll receive Blackboard the Friday prior to your start date.
Mm-hmm. Okay. Anything else, guys?
Anything else from me, Mariceli?
Going once.
I'm going
twice.
to hop off. I'm going to stop sharing. Let you have control again. I will be back out at the front lobby, Mariceli.
That's fine. Thank you.
So if you need anything, send me a message in Teams, and I'll be there for you.
Thank you.
Totally.
I really appreciate you. This
This
is a busy.
It is a busy time. Some of you may have already been to see us, and we're working to get all those students seen before classes start on Monday. But
Awesome.
Always love to come, and great questions.
All right, we're gonna keep going then. Thank you. Okay. So we're gonna talk really quickly about oh, too far. What happened? I went a little crazy here, guys. It just went a little crazy for me. Here we go. Back. Here we go. Whew. Okay. Sorry about that. Okay, so now we're going to go back and this is one of those screenshotable things that we want you to do. Take a moment, take a screenshot of these online tools. We're going to talk a little bit about these tools. The first one is going to be Eagle Mail. Everybody at CTC is going to communicate with you through Eagle Mail at one point or another. So make sure that you are actually going through and logging in to check your Eagle Mail. This is the information. This is one of those that you might want to take a picture of and access your Eagle Mail. You get your Eagle Mail as soon as you register for your class. So as soon as you register for your first class. So this is going to be Eagle Mail usually is made up of the first initial of your name, then your last name, and then at stu.ctcd.edu. But if, you know, there's sometimes things happen and we have people with the same last name, the same word or name order, then what we're going to do is we're going to add a number at the end, and that's going to be a 2, a 3, and then it's going to keep going. So it's going to be the first initial, the last name, the number of the sequence, and then at stu.ctcd.edu. We recently had, if you were a student previously, you may have gotten a new email, so just be looking for that. But because a while back we had some changes, but you should be able to access your Eagle Mail if you've already registered for your classes. Please make sure you're constantly checking. Financial aid is going to send messages through there, faculty, and a lot of offices are going to contact you that way. Please take a look at it and respond based on that. Also, like Ms. Hutchins was saying, they really, you know, if you send something from your Gmail, it's going to be kind of hard for them to know who you are. But if you send it from the CTC email, it'll make it a lot easier for somebody at CTC to be able to identify who you are and what you need so that they can help you out. Now, the other thing we have is a student ID. If you are here in Texas, in the Killeen area, you can come and get your ID in building 209. And this is the ID that shows that you are a student. It's going to give you your CTC ID number. And it's going to look similar to this picture. You can use this at the gym and a few other places around campus. So please go ahead and come and get the ID as soon as possible. Just go into, again, building 209, which is an enrollment center, so that you can get your ID. If you are here and you're planning on coming to take classes here at CTC, specifically in the Killeen Central Campus, we need you to get a parking permit. These parking permits are free, and you can just go ahead and come on in, bring in your valid driver's license, your student ID, and vehicle registration, and they will go ahead and give you a sticker to use in your vehicle. Here's the thing, maybe the vehicle's not under your name. That's okay. Maybe it's under a parent or a spouse or a sibling. That's okay. You can still register it. What we want to know is who you are. If we need to get a hold of you and for some reason, you know, something happened to your vehicle, we need to know who this vehicle is, you know, belongs to. We need to be able to get a hold of the student. Then that's why we need these parking. That's one of the reasons why we need these parking permits in your vehicle. Another thing, as a reminder, please, do not park. There's plenty of parking at CTC in our central campus, a lot. Do not park in something that's reserved or official use only or adjunct faculty only. People pay for those parking spots, or there's a reason for them to be there. So please plan accordingly when you're coming to classes. Give yourself enough time to figure out, you know, how long is it going to take you to find a parking spot and get to your class. So please take your time. I don't think that's the correct. Now I am going to stop sharing very, very quickly. And we're going to transition back to this because I feel like I have some questions here. What happens when you lose your student ID? You have to pay for a replacement. It's $5. Where do we find our registration statement? That is an Eagle Self-Service. You can show you can print out your Eagle Self-Service and that will show that you are registered. If something, John, if you got your ID and the name got rubbed off or something like that, yeah, they'll just go ahead and go back and show them what happened and they'll replace it for you for free. You can register as many vehicles as you plan on using. So make sure that, you know, you kind of plan around that. Okay. If you cannot get into your student email, please contact the student IT site. And I know that Morgan put that in the chat. So please make sure that you do that. All right, really quickly, I am gonna see if we can actually get a dual credit representative, and I know that Ms. Deal was planning on being here, and if not, somebody else. I thought I saw
I'm
her
here.
earlier.
I'm
There
here.
she is. I knew that I had seen you before, but I wasn't sure if you were still here. Yay! So this is our Associate Dean of Dual Enrollment. I believe I said that correctly. If not, correct me. But she is here to talk about, for our dual credit students, just give you some just very brief and important information that you need to know before you start your classes.
Hi, guys. Happy Wednesday. My name is Ms. Dale. I'm the Associate Dean of Dual Credit Programs. My team maintains the day-to-day operations of the early college high school, the early college program, the STEM program, dual credit, early admissions, and homeschool. We're located in the Science Center, Building 257, Suite 1009. We can be reached at 254 526-1868. As a high school student, you will have enrolled in college courses. You will have access to the same resources as any other college student. There are a few exceptions that I wanted to speak on. If you are in need of one-on-one counseling for mental health, you must be over the age of 18 to access that resource with CTC. If you are under the age of 18, we encourage you to meet with your high school counselor. In addition to that, prior to visiting the CTC bookstore for any sort of course material pickup, we encourage you to connect with our DC programs team or your ISD POC because certain school districts have different requirements for textbook pickup. Some of our partners require you to pick up your textbooks at your high school campus and their book room. Others require you to use a voucher at the CTC bookstore. And then others, you're just required to self-pay at the CTC bookstore. So please connect with our team prior to picking up any sort of course material. Again, other than that, as a high school student, you do have access to the same resources as any other college student while you're taking your college courses at CTC. So I think that's all I have. I do happen to have our coordinators on this this meeting with us. I have Miss Tanya Turner. She is our STEM coordinator. I also have Miss Janice Urbina. She's our dual credit coordinator as well. All right, that's all I have. Thank you.
Thank you very much. We appreciate it. And we are glad to have you here because normally this is their first time in our orientation and we're so happy to have you here. Yay!
Hey, Dean Deal, would you mind putting y'all's contact information in the chat so students can access
Absolutely.
it? Thank you.
No problem.
Yes. Yay! We're excited. I'm excited. All right. So next up, I have the library and I need to find, they have a great video, guys. And so I don't know, Ash, are you here? I think Ash, I heard he might be in, but I don't know if he is or not. If he is, I would love to hear from you. If not, they have a video, which is actually a pretty great video. So let me just open this up. Oh, wait, don't start without me. Don't start without me. I'm not ready for you to start yet. Okay, wait, I have to share, you guys. It's trying to start without me. All right, let me see if I can get this to share really quickly. Wait, I need to stop because I forgot to do one more thing when I share, and that is that you need to be able to hear it.
Ignition sequence start. 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2,
you to access classified data.
Five, four, three, two, one, zero. Liftoff. We have a liftoff.
All right. Thank you guys. Now I made a mistake, guys. This is I don't know if Ash is here. Ash, before I stop doing this, are you here? Because I kind of skipped the whole department, which is very naughty of me. But I'm coming. No, if not, when we're done with our success coaches, we will have, if he comes on board, we'll give him a chance to talk. All right, so now it's time for our success coaches, and I know they're here. I saw them start to get ready, and then I was like, oh no, I messed up.
Oh my
But
God, did you forget us?
I could never forget y'all. It's just that, I was so excited about having y'all here that I totally goofed. I just feel so proud of y'all that I want to really share it to the world. Okay, now the ones, the only, the success coaches.
Good afternoon, everyone. Good afternoon to our new CTC Eagles. Yay! We're very excited to have you, and we're excited to get you going and motivate you through your successful semester. Again, good afternoon. My name is Charlotte Wesley, and I am the lead success coach here at Central Texas College. But I need to introduce my fabulous team. Joining me is also Jessica Gonzalez. Jessica, are you here?
Yes,
I
I
know
am
She's
her.
here
here.
somewhere.
Yes, please.
Hi,
Yeah,
Jessica.
hi. Pleased to meet everybody. I can't wait to get to know you as we begin the spring 2025 semester. My pleasure.
Awesome. And also, we have a brand new coach that's ready to meet you guys, Mr. Paul Esper. Paul, are you here?
I am in fact here, yes.
There he is. So students, this is your student success coaching team, and we are very excited to meet you. And you're going to hear some information about how you can reach out to us, where you can find us. So we are actually located in building 215, the same building that houses financial aid and veteran services. We're located on the first floor. So if you're coming in through the front door, you're going to swing to the right and you will see the success hallway, and your success coaches will be lined up there. What is student success coaching? We are empowering students to achieve their goals. How do we do that? So let me just say that many or most of you are enrolled or will be enrolled as part of our spring 2025 cohort as new first time in college students. So, as a first time in college student, you do not have to feel like you have to navigate through this experience by yourself. That's what a student success coach is for. And think of it, a coach, it's just what it means. We are here to coach you through and to support and to motivate you through this semester. So you have those burning questions, a lot of the same questions that we're seeing in the chat. These are questions that a success coach can help you with. But you're going to hear a little bit more about that and about how you are enrolled in your very own Blackboard course. It's a not for credit course, but Miss Jessica is going to explain that to you in just a moment. But I want to talk to you about the key components and services and how you get involved. So you can go to the next slide, please, Marcella. Actually, I'm sorry, you can back up. So getting involved with student success coaching, you get involved with us by reaching out and communicating with us through your Blackboard course or by visiting with us, like I said, in building 215 in the success hallway, or you can call us. Check out our website. We do have some information on our website that explains a little bit more about our services. So success coaching, we are about coaching students on academic success skills, goal setting, engaging in the campus community, timely degree completion, and navigating through this student experience. So if you're nervous about getting started, how to get started, again, that's where your success coach comes in. And you are assigned a success coach by your last name. Again, Miss Jessica, when she talks about the Blackboard course, she's going to explain that to you. Okay. So next, we're going to have Paul explain to you a little bit more about our program and what we offer.
All right, so our program has some goals and objectives that we've agreed upon to hopefully help you with your academic progress while you're here at CTC. We certainly want to help you finish your program, work towards it. And by doing that, we build a supportive community, and we're hoping to address any barriers that you may have, help you work through those issues so the transition into college and being successful in college is easy, or easier, I should say. We want to help you also develop personally. Sometimes when you get into college, it can be a little bit challenging, understanding how each professor wants you to be in a classroom environment, where we expect you to be when you graduate, those kinds of things. And we also offer guidance on career planning and, again, personal growth, so hopefully goal setting and things like that. What we offer is one-on-one coaching sessions. You're welcome to put in those requests for those sessions, and we'll sit down with you and speak with you one-on-one about how we can best help you move forward. We offer workshops and seminars. We have a great, vast array of resources here on campus, and we can assist you with referrals to those different resource offices. We hope to establish regular check-ins with students so we can just check in on you and make sure everything's going well. Again, helping you with those goals. And then lastly, Jessica has done a great job of creating the SOAR program on Blackboard, and I'm going to turn it over to her so she can go into more detail.
Thank you, Paul.
Mariceli, can you please move to the next slide? Alrighty, learners, good afternoon. My name is Jessica Gonzalez, one of the student success coaches. I'm so happy to be here, and it's a pleasure to welcome you. So all of our students that are going to be first time in college, and I believe first time at CTC, you're automatically going to be enrolled in a Blackboard course called SOAR 1000. And as Charlotte said at the very beginning of our session here, or I should say our section here for the NSO, is that this course is a non-credit course. No credit, You will not have any homework or really expectations with the course itself. But the benefits of being in a SOAR course is to help you build connections, especially when you don't know where to go, you don't know who to turn to. As Charlotte mentioned, all the amazing questions that we're getting in the chat box that all the faculty and staff are answering, that's exactly what SOAR is. We've taken a lot of the resources from CTC's website and incorporated them in, if you will, like a one-stop shop. So that's what the benefits of SOAR are. It is also a tool for you to use to reach out to us when you're not sure where to turn to. We can, like Paul said, we can see you either in person, virtually, on the phone. And oftentimes students will message us in Blackboard, say, hey, can I make an appointment to come in? Can I make an appointment to speak to you on the phone virtually? So you're going to find a lot of campus resources. So oftentimes when you don't know where to turn to, example, do we have any counselors on staff? Yes, we have a wellness team. They're amazing. I'm having a food insecurity. Do you have access to a food pantry? Or I need some help academically, which is one of the most important pieces. We have information regarding tutoring, all the different labs we have available to students. We are your support system within CTC, and as Charlotte said, you know, we are your best friends. And I do know that I believe I need to ask Mariceli. I don't want to go into Blackboard extensively because we may have a faculty member that may be going into Blackboard. In addition, I do know that one of our staff members within our student success and persistence area, we also hold Blackboard workshops at the beginning of the term to help you get logged in, but not only get you logged into Blackboard, but also have access to other systems that you will need here on campus. Mariceli, can you go to the next slide, please?
Pieces?
Is that the last? There should be one more with our contact information, I believe.
Yeah. Oh, I'm sorry. You know what? I think
It's
I ended
okay.
up making a mistake,
Okay.
and this is not the correct one.
Yes, no worries. So as Charlotte said, we just transitioned. So we have Mr. Paul Esper, who is new. So those are our success coaches. It's myself, Jessica Gonzalez, Charlotte Wesley, our lead coach, and Mr. Paul Esper. We apologize. We do have our right contact, and I'm actually going to type it in the chat box. So if you would like to take a screenshot of this, please do. And instead of Christopher White, we still do have Christopher. However,
Here, I found it.
Christopher,
I forgot to.
there it
erase the
is.
old one.
There
I am
you go.
so
There it is.
sorry, guys.
No worries. So there is our contact information for the coaches. We are located in the same building as financial aid. We are on the first floor on the opposite hallway of FA. We are in the student services building in the student success hallway. Not only will you find the coaches, but just to kind of add a little bit, you will also find disability support services and career services in the same hallway if you know where they are as well. You can reach us typically Monday through Thursday. Typical hours are 7:30 to 5:30, Friday 7:30 to 11:30. And again, we can see you in person, virtually, or over the telephone. Now, I do want to say this. We have a huge population of first time in college and those that are brand new to CTC. And what our Student Success Persistent team did is they divided the population, and each coach will have its own cohort. And we apologize. I don't know if this is the slide. I don't think we have the slide up, which is fine because we weren't sure up until late yesterday who was getting what group. So we, on our CTC website, we are waiting for some updates because we've transitioned to a new coach, Mr. Esper, myself, and Chris on our CTC website. And I put the link in the chat box a few minutes ago. Once we get that website, I hope changed, hopefully the end of the week, early next week, you will see who you fall under based on your last name. And right now we have 3 coaches. We are in the progress of hiring a 4th, and we don't have that person's name yet. But all of you will be enrolled in a Blackboard course based on your last name. And on, I believe, Thursday of this week, please correct me if I'm wrong, typically 3 days before the semester starts, you will have access to all of your Blackboard courses, including SOAR 1000. Once you see that SOAR 1000 course, you will see the name of the student success coach Some of you may see success coach number 3. That is the coach that we are in progress of hiring. And we are hoping to bring that person on board shortly. But any one of us, myself, Charlotte, Wesley, our lead coach, Mr. Paul Esper, any of us can help you as well. So please do not hesitate to reach out to us. Charlotte, maybe if we can interject a success coaching tip, I will go ahead and start. If I had to give you one tip to be successful, it would be please reach out to the faculty members when you need help. Do not wait till the last minute. They hold office hours. Typically, you will find their office hours contact information on the course syllabus, which you have access to digitally, typically in the content area. Again, my tip for success is please reach out to the faculty when you need help. They are there to be of assistance. I'll turn it over to Charlotte for her tip.
Okay. So if I had to give a tip, I would definitely say communicate, reach out. So students, when you see in your Blackboard course or when you see flyers around campus about activities that the success coaches will be hosting, and we do host a lot of events. These are events that are for you so that we can help you build connections. I don't want you to have questions or to not know about a resource or wonder about a resource on campus or even off campus. Have a situation, have a problem that's going on with you, and you don't reach out, you don't communicate. We mentioned earlier that we like to consider ourselves the very first connections that you build on campus, and we honestly mean that. So by building connections with us, it just spreads from us throughout the campus. So we're fostering a community of care here on CTC. So let the CTC success coaches care for you and help move you along the way. So definitely communicate, reach out. Paul, what would be your one success tip for our students?
I guess I would say the only dumb question I've ever learned is the one that's never asked. So if you're thinking about the question, there's a good chance somebody else is also having the same question. So if you get out there and ask the question, you could be helping your fellow classmates with their future successes as well. Reach out to us, let us know what may be challenges on your plate, and we are more than excited to meet each and every one of you. So come by our office and just say hello if that's all it takes.
And with that, Marceli, our student success coach team, we're dropping the mic. Students, we are here for you. Come and see us.
All right. Thank you so much. Truly appreciate it. Let's see. Ash, are you here now? And that I only asked that because I feel very bad that I may have overseen him.
I'm here.
Okay, Ash. This is Ashley Garcia. He is our librarian guru for the day. I did show the video already because I kind of went kind of fast, but I do still want to give you a chance to kind of talk a little bit about all of the fabulous things that the library has to offer.
Okay.
So, can you please talk a little bit? I don't see you. Do I see you?
I hope I'm here. Well,
There you are.
yeah.
I see you now.
So I'm here. So I'm Ash Garcia, librarian. So what we have to offer for you is basically even before when you start doing your papers, we're basically here to help you with your research and with your academic needs. So I mean, the main part of the library, of course, is books and our databases and things like that. But we're here for those, especially those, and there's a lot of us, and me included when I first started, who don't have a good grasp or need help putting their papers together, getting their research and things like that. So we have a lot of ways to help you do that. We have us, of course, that will sit with you and help you go through some of this stuff that can be complicated, just like riding a bike. If you've never done it before, don't worry about not being able to. It's your first time, don't worry about it. We're here to help you make sure you're able to. But we have things like video tutorials that we've made for people that, again, can need a little bit more like the visual help, things like that for your citations, for putting papers together, for things like that. Some of the just basic services, if you need to chat with us, we have an Ask Librarian section right on the website. Just type it in, whatever your questions you need. If you don't, if you can't see us in person, then that's what it's there for. We have people all over the place. So of course, you know, not just physically. We also have reference requests, which you can email your questions to us as well. We do try to answer email 24/7 as far as like throughout the year rather. Obviously when we're closed during the night. That's kind of hard to do. But for every day, even like on holidays, we take turns answering emails. So if you are doing something during the holiday, you need a question, things like that, we'll answer it for you. We also have what's called research paper review. So if you just want someone to look over your paper, give you opinions, give you some feedback, you can send it to us. We especially look over the citations. We'll give you some indication of, you know, just how well it seems to read, and give you like a report on your grammar, check that type of thing. Just to help you out as far as that goes. Also, if you're on campus, we have reserved books, for example. If you haven't gotten your textbook just yet, or it's you're having trouble getting it, we have a lot of textbooks, so you can use them here in the library. So about 3 hours is what you have, which is a pretty good amount of time for you able to get what you need as far as that goes. Just when you come to circulation, ask them about the class. We don't have every single textbook, but we tend to try to get as many as we can. We also have our multimedia and just computer services. So if you need to come use a computer, you can come to our multimedia here. If you need printing, we can print it here, although it is 25 cents a page. We also have study rooms, things like that. So it's actually also just a great place to come and, you know, study and relax if you need to. You can check them out when you get here, or you can reserve them on our system that we have. And of course, as I mentioned earlier, we have our different databases. The different databases are things that you're going to need when you start doing your classes and you start doing your research. And it's to help you to get basically the information and research you need. We'll show you how to use it. We'll help you go through that so that you can make it, so that part can be easier. We have different journal databases. We have different video databases. And of course, everything you need to make it so that it's easy to cite, which as you'll get into your different courses and different topics and things like that, you'll start learning more about that part if you haven't done that already, as far as like doing that. And again, just us. We're happy to see you here. We're happy to have you here. Don't worry if you're having trouble as far as like research and things like that. That's what we're here for, to make sure you'll, you know, get you on track and to help you as far as that goes. So, what else? Any other questions?
No, they're just saying that there's a little bit of an echo with you. I hear you fine, but I'm not sure what's going on.
Okay.
We'll talk about that in the near future, but I don't see any specific questions as of right now. Let me see. Wait, I forgot. There's another place I have to just to make sure I haven't missed anything. Nope, I think we're good for now. Thank you, Ash. We really appreciate you taking the time out to come and help us out.
You're welcome.
And talk to our students. Everybody, you need to understand these librarians are the best thing out there. They know how to find information. Before Google, there was librarians, and they're actually trained to help you figure it out. So a lot of times they're actually better than Google because they know exactly where to go. And actually, Ash is specifically one of the best ones, I think. But I'm really biased because I've worked with him a lot. Because he oversees the databases. So he knows what's out there and how to find information. And he's actually found information out for me when I needed it. So thank you, Ash. Really
You're
appreciate your
welcome.
assistance and being here.
You're welcome.
All right. So we're going to keep going. And I am I'm not sure if we have our next presenters in yet because we're going a little bit fast, but I'm going to just kind of keep going. And then eventually when they get in, we'll go back to them. All right. So let me see. Let me show this very, very quickly because I know a lot of you are asking questions about materials for the classes and how y'all could get materials for the classes and what those materials needed to be. This is one of those guys that you want to go ahead and take a screenshot of, okay? This is how the websites, the official websites where you can purchase books for CTC, as well as if you just want to know what usually is required of a class. Some professors may have a little bit of a difference, but usually the core materials that may be required are included in this books and instructional materials listing. So if you want to have an idea as to what may be required of you before you start the class, I would say definitely go ahead and check it out there. The Central Campus Bookstore, that's where you can use your financial aid to purchase books. And you can do that either through the website or come in person. And then if you are away from Texas and you need to use the Barnes & Noble College website, we could go ahead and help you with that. And we'll talk a little bit more about this, but here, if you are in what's called the career CTE or Career Technical Education course, we may be able to assist with textbook lending and childcare assistance, as well as some other resources. So please go ahead and just keep that in mind. I'll talk a little bit more about that in a little bit, but I wanted you to have the opportunity of having that readily available and at least take a screenshot. That's the big thing. I'm going to skip a few things here because we're just kind of keep trucking. We're going to talk a little bit about resources. We already talked to the library. That is one of the biggest resources that we have on campus, but we're going to talk about a few other things. Student success and persistence, student life and activities, which is what I represent, falls under that, as well as the academic studio, career services, disability support services, and residence hall. And now I have to update that because also mental health, our wellness and counseling department is there as well. Another resource that you can have is actually faculty in the department. They can help answer a lot of questions, way more than you might originally think. So please remember that they're a resource for you. Campus police, they want you to be safe and doing well in classes. So they try really hard to try to get along with all our students and be friendly. And we'll talk a little bit about some of their resources and how they can help you as a student. And then the student employee assistance program, we have to change that because that used to be our wellness and now it's wellness and counseling. We talked about the library, tutoring resources all around campus. We have multiple tutoring services. And then there is student services, which you've met some of them and you'll meet a few others. That includes academic advising, financial aid, veteran services, and registration. And then the gym, because if you're here in Killeen and you want to come use our gym, you can do that as well. So there's a lot of resources not just on the campus, but around us. So definitely come check out the campus community and resources. And if you have questions, there's a phone number and an email for our student success area that can help answer questions for you. Now, I'm going to go through this very, very quickly, but basically we have the wellness and counseling services. That's our mental health support team here. We have 2 counselors currently. One of the director's name is Nadia Filomenova, and the other counselor is Anna Dries. And so you can come see them for emergency or critical situations such as suicidal thoughts, anger management, domestic violence, depression, anxiety, individual counseling, mental health education, and they also host some groups here on our campus. So they're a great resource, and we highly encourage all of our students to go check in with them. I like to tell our students that at some point in time, life is just going to get stressful, and they are the individuals that can actually help you kind of navigate some of these stresses so that you can be successful, not just at the college level, but really through life. They do have some workshops, mindfulness hour, and usually that is every Monday from 12 to 1. And then Wellness Wednesdays, those are usually 2 to 4 in their building, the Wellness and Counseling Building 264. They always want you to go ahead. Oh, this is old. We need to change this. Ron Porter has left the building, but the phone number is still correct. The counselor is not, but be aware, Nadia Filimonova, she's the director. Wally Rios is still the office specialist, and then Ms. Reese is now the other counselor. You can get a hold of them. You can take a picture of this slide if you want to get their contact information. And that's what their little building looks like. And they always like to show off their building. So take a pic of that. Residence Hall. We actually have Morton Hall. It's a residence hall here for our campus. One of the few community colleges around that have a residence hall. We have meals that are included during the week for our residents, as well as free laundry facilities, a study room, game room, and free internet. If the main thing is you have to be a full-time student to be able to be eligible for on-campus housing. If you are interested and have any questions, please take a picture of this, and you can contact our residence hall manager at residence.hall@ctcd.edu. And now I am going to ask if Dr. Christy Schenk, I know she's here somewhere, and if she could briefly talk to you about disability support services that are available for our students.
Hi, Maricela, can you hear me?
Yes.
Okay, great. Our office is located in building 215. We are in the same building with Success Coaches and Career Services. Our office can help students who have a documented disability with classroom accommodations. In order for us to assist you, you do have to self-identify to us to let us know that you are a student with a disability. That's one of the big differences between high school and college. You do have to provide medical documentation to us. Your documentation needs to state what your disability is, how it affects you in a learning environment, and what major life activity has been impacted by your disability. You also need to complete our student intake e-form and attach your medical documentation so that we can review that. Accommodations can be requested at any time. However, we do recommend that you do set up services with us at the start of the semester because accommodations are not retroactive. Approved accommodations are based on a student's disability, and you do have to request accommodations every semester. Next slide, Maricela. Some examples of accommodations that we can help students with is extra testing time, separate testing area, test reader, note-taking assistance. Again, the type of accommodation that we can approve is dependent upon what your disability is and your medical documentation, as well as what class you are taking. All accommodations are free to students. We do not charge for any accommodations, and they are available worldwide, so it doesn't matter what campus you're located at, we can assist you. Accommodations are also available for in-person classes as well as online classes. We also help students who are pregnant or parenting. We can help with accommodations such as extended leave for maternity, doctor's appointments, whatever you might need depending upon what your pregnant or parenting status is. You do have to self-identify to us as well if that's the service that you do need. I can put our contact information into the chat, so you're welcome to reach out to us, schedule an appointment. I will also include our website, which has a good student FAQ section, as well as our disability information packet that outlines specific documentation requirements. So if you have any questions, please reach out to us. And that's all I have, Maricela.
All right. Thank you very much. I want to go ahead and make sure that's Dr. Shank's email, and Dean Starkey, who you met earlier, that is her email as well. In case you have any questions, you're welcome to contact her. We're really briefly going to talk over this, but we actually have a program for our career and technical students where you can request assistance for either textbook lending or material assistance, childcare, and transportation assistance. This is the information as to how you can contact them and see if you qualify for that. The main thing is that it has to be what we call a career and technical degree. That includes things like welding, culinary, building trades, HVAC, all of those things that you might have either in our career and technical education. If you're not sure if you qualify for that, you are welcome to contact Ms. Bia Tensei, and she will go ahead and check it out and see if you qualify because of the type of degree plan that you have. Some of the ways that you can verify, because it is based off of financial need as well, is that you need to go ahead and have some way of documenting your financial situation, which may include either the Pell Grant or some of these other documents that have been included in here as well. And you do have to have a 2.0 GPA. So if you want to get a little bit more information, please take a picture of this really quick, screenshot it, so that way we can go ahead and contact and Ms. Bia can go ahead and let you know if you qualify for this and what you need to do to request the assistance. Now, William, I don't know what happens, but we need to start adding you onto this, buddy. But we also have a career, and if you're interested in career services, so maybe you want to find a job while you're a CTC student. Maybe you need to practice a little bit more on doing mock interviews and having somebody look at your resume and making sure that it looks right and that it's correct. We have Mr. William Jones. He is our career services. He oversees career services department, and he can help guide you through this. He is located in that same success hall in where the success coaches and disability support services are located. And I know I think I saw his information in the chat somewhere, but please make sure that you are going ahead and contacting him as well, because I'm pretty sure I saw him put it. I can't see it now, but I know that he put it in there somewhere. So that is another option for you. So please use our services. Jennifer also went ahead and put in the chat, we have clubs and organizations. If you're interested in participating in them, please go ahead and check out the different ones that are available to you. Maybe there's one of them that is of your interest. If not, that is okay. Just go to the website and check it out, see if that's something that might interest you. And if you feel like, you know what, I need to start my own club, please contact me. I oversee clubs and organizations. It is part of what I do. So I think, let's see. Do we have, I don't know, Matt, are you here?
Yes.
Oh, there you are. Yay, there you are. Okay, so we're ready to roll for the next part, okay? So now you guys get to meet another one of my favorite people on this campus. He has the ability and energy, more energy than I will ever have. He is Mr. Matt Lyles. He is our Associate Dean of Instruction. And if I said that wrong, please correct me. But I think it's something along those lines. I just know you as Matt. But he is here to talk to you guys about Blackboard and how important Blackboard is to all of our students and how to access it. You ready?
Yes.
Awesome.
Thank you.
Take
I
it
don't
away.
know how to share the screen. Can I share my screen? Is that a possibility?
Yes, you may. I want you to.
Good. I'm going to do that. I'm not sure I've ever done it before, so in WebEx, but we're going to go for it.
It's on the bottom And
Yeah, I got it. Bottom middle, I think,
there you are.
since I
Yes.
can't share it.
Oh, what do you mean you can't share? Why can you not
Yes,
share? Let me.
hang on.
I'm gonna
Let's try
make
it
you
again.
presenter.
Hang on. Did that work?
Yes, but I don't know if that's
You
what
can see
you.
my
Those are all
screen?
the classes. I'm seeing an Excel
Yes.
spreadsheet.
So,
Okay.
oh, no, that's not it at all. It's not my browser.
Nope. Please try
Mhm.
again.
Attempted to do so. Let's see, where did WebEx? Oh my gosh, I don't even see WebEx anymore. There we go. I don't know.
I see you
Oh my gosh.
overlaying Blackboard on top of it.
What about? I don't know how to get rid of the sharing.
Okay, at
Awesome.
the very top, if you move your cursor over the top of your screen, you should see something
Oh,
that says pop.
it's on another screen. Got it. Hang on. Did that stop sharing? Yes.
Yes.
Okay, I'm gonna try one more time. I apologize for my inability. I'm going to. Oh, I get it now. I understand. I think. Can you see my browser now?
Yes.
Fantastic. All right, we got it figured. All right, folks. Hi, my name is Matt Lyles, like Mariceli said, and I'm not sure I have as much energy as she does, but that's okay. We have this thing called Blackboard. The address is up here at the top. It's fairly simple, ctc.blackboard.com. If you don't remember that, you can get to it from the CTC webpage, and the other people on this are way better at that than I am, but I'm pretty confident you can just drag down to the bottom and there's a Blackboard link. It's right there. Bam. And so you get to this screen. I am lazy and save my stuff, but you will have a username that is the letter C, and it will be your student ID number after that. You will receive an email with that information in it if you have not already. I called our distance education people before I came on this, and they said that you get the email 3 days before classes start. So if this is your first semester, Friday is your day. You will get an email from them that says this. Even if you don't get it, it's just the letter C and your student ID number. The password is just your 6-digit birth date. You sign in, and then any class that you're registered will show up under Spring 25. Right now, I'm just teaching one class in the spring because I'm also an associate dean. So I don't teach full-time like some other folks. So I have this one that's going to be starting next week. I'm not going to show you that one because I have one that's active right now that I've been teaching over the break. It's this business math one down here. When you come into a class, this is the teacher view, but you're not a teacher. You want to see the student view. It'll look something like this. Every class is a little different. A good thing to know up front is that, well, the main thing when you get into your course is you want to know about the syllabus right away. I haven't been in the entire thing here, so I don't know if they've spoken about syllabus yet, but syllabus is important to the plan. Each instructor might put the syllabus in a little different spot. In my course, I have a whole folder called Start Here, which, in case you didn't figure out, is probably where you should start. And so you hit the little down arrow there, and it's got all kind of stuff, including syllabus. The first thing I would do if I was a student in any course is go look at the syllabus. So my course, which is running, it says a bunch of stuff. And then if you get down far enough, it literally has every assignment and when it's due for the entire course. So this particular course ends here in a couple of weeks, but it's got everything right there. It talks about how many points things are worth. You can figure out how do I figure out what my grade is in a course? The syllabus tells you how to get there. It tells you what's expected so that you know exactly what's going to happen before you even get going in the course. This thing called Blackboard, it's a way for you and your faculty member, your professor, to interact. The professor provides information there, and you can also contact your professor there. So one thing I want to show you up at the top, there's this menu here. Over here where my mouse is, it says messages. If you click that, You can direct message to your professor. You hit new message. If you just click in this recipients area, it'll list everyone in the course. You choose your professor's name and it'll show up like that, and you can type them a message. You slide down to the bottom and you hit send, and then they'll respond. You'll get a little notification when you've received a message from them, or from him or her. Another important thing is announcements. I can speak for myself here. In this course, you can see I send out an announcement once a week, every week on Mondays. That's what I do. Every instructor kind of has their own rhythm of things, but I make sure and email it to my people. And so you can either check it in Blackboard or you can check it in your CTC email, either one. And I just kind of say, this is what's going on this week. This is what you need to be working on. Not every faculty member works that way, but that's the way it goes. So up here at the top, it says content. That's basically home base. It's got all the information about your instructor. It'll have anything about announcements down in here. There's a grade book up at the top. Let me think, what else are we missing here that I am not thinking through? So different courses do different things that I'm a math professor. I don't do discussions, but some courses do discussion posts. So there's a discussion section. Mine will be fairly blank, but you come over here and you can click on things. Sometimes they'll have like so mine has a handful of discussion things and very few people use them, but there's spots where you can go in there. Some courses have required discussion posts and you go in there, you can reply to an existing thread or create your own. So there's lots of options there. Important things, I want to check my grade. So I'm in student preview. Yes, I won't see my students' grades. Fantastic. So I'm not really a student in this course, so I don't have anything listed here, but I click grade book up at the top and I can literally see all my grades for a course. And so if a grade doesn't show up the way I think it should, the important thing would be to do what? You know, if you have any questions, if anything is not like how you expect it, you should ask. You know, if you're unclear on anything in your course, it's important to ask your professor. Your professor is here to help you, whether it's a face-to-face course or an online course, whatever. Your professor's here to help you. If you're live on campus in person, you can go to their office hours and speak to them in person, or if you're in your lecture class, if you do that before and after class. But even if you're an online student only, that doesn't keep you from interacting with your professor. You can message them in Blackboard. You can message them via email. Back on the content page over here, like for me, my email is not listed there. That's awesome. All right, that was a poor example, huh? But my phone number, contact information's there. I always put in my announcements what my email is. So, but you have ways to contact your professor. I feel like I said most of the things I was going to say. Is there things that I'm leaving out, Maricela, that you can think of?
Can you talk a little bit about BioSig?
I can. I'm not the best person to do that, but I can.
At least explain the importance of doing something in your class.
Gotcha.
Soon after the class begins.
Gotcha. I think I have mine under start here, BioSig. So BioSig is a thing where we just verify that it's you, basically. And so the first time you do it, if you don't have a BioSig account, you have to create a thing. And so you go into it and it will launch this little tool and you have to create an identity. Basically, this is me. I'm going to do it with my mouse. I'm going to draw some things here. So need more than straight lines. Awesome. Okay. Let's see if I can draw the same thing again. The answer is probably not. I'm a knucklehead with a mouse.
I want you to know that we have students that are loving the fact that you are not the best in computers because they don't feel alone.
There you go. Oh, I have to do it again. Awesome. Anyway, anytime that a professor has an assignment that requires you to log in like this, you have to put in the same pattern again. So usually just a handful of times in a course. A lot of professors will do it for exams because they want to make sure it's you taking your exam. You know what I mean? So I've created my little BioSig thing. I don't even know what this means, to be honest. Click the touchpad. You don't remember that. Quite sure what they're talking about.
I think there's multiple ways of doing it, so you can either do it with a mouse or a keyboard or.
Okay,
Yeah, I think that's part of what that is.
gotcha. Display click points. How many times do I have to click? You've created a password with BioSig. I'm just going to do that. Does not contain enough points. Okay. MJ. Is that enough points? There we go. I just went with my initials. So apparently 3 is enough. I have to do it again. I can remember my initials. That works out. Bam. I'm having a good time now. All right. Draw pad. Wow. Are we having fun yet? Watching somebody draw circles and type their initials?
Guys,
Anyway,
this is what you're going to
let's
have to
just-
do, though, so just don't feel bad. You see? It's going to be fine. You're going to figure it out.
Gotcha. So I've just now created my BioSig information. So the next thing I do requires BioSig. Like, and for me, this course contract does it. And it's going to require me to, maybe it doesn't do it. It's supposed to do it. Awesome. Anyway, you use the BioSig to log in, like for your tests or whatever, and you'll have to draw the same little thing that you did prior. So BioSig is a quick way to show, hey, it's me. Some faculty members use a thing called BioSight on exams that has kind of a fuzzy camera thing going on where you're required to have a webcam to do that. That should be spelled out very clearly in your syllabus if that's a requirement. So one of the important things about reading the syllabus up front. Also, the syllabus will tell you things like textbook, any kind of course materials you have, things that are expected of you for the entire course all at one time. So there should be, it should literally make it to where there's no surprises in the entire course. This is what we're going to do from start to finish. If you read that through, there should be 0 surprises at any point in the course. And if you get confused, like I said, who do we reach out to? Your professor. So email, the messages in Blackboard, whatever works for you works. So don't be afraid to reach out to your professor. I would say this, there's a lot of people who they feel like the professor's over there somewhere and they're like unreachable somehow, but that's just not the way it is. That's kind of something that a lot of people just kind of have in their head. The professor is there and ready to help you. It's literally their job. You know what I mean? So they want to help you succeed in the course. If you're stuck or confused or anything, ask. The only bad question is the question you don't ask. So if you have a question, stick it out there, get yourself on the path. If you're in a live lecture class, I will say this, if you have a question and you're afraid to ask it, I guarantee you there's 5 other people in the room that have the exact same question as you, and they're also afraid to ask it. Just throw it out there. If anything, you're helping other people, but you want to get yourself on the path too. So don't be afraid to ask questions of your professor. They are there to help you succeed. We want you to succeed here at CTC. That's one of the reasons that Marcelli organizes this new student orientation, is we want to get you started on the right foot and figuring out how this works before you even get started in your program. So anything else I should cover?
I'm just going to let everybody know there is an extensive Blackboard demo that goes into way more detail. And I went ahead and added that into the chat. This was done by one of our online managers who uses Blackboard every day, all the time. And one of the things that has happened is that a lot of, there's been a change in the Blackboard recently, which is why a lot of the faculty is still trying to get used to it, including Professor Lyles. So just kind of hang in there. But if you have any questions, save this link. It is in our CTC YouTube page. It is a CTC Live YouTube. Go ahead and watch it. It is way longer than this, and it goes into a lot of detail. This is just a very short, just to kind of get you introduced into it so that you know what to expect and don't be afraid of it. Okay? Now, I don't see. Do you need to get a separate webcam then? What's in your computer? I'm guessing it's for the CT,
No.
for the bio site.
No, you can use the one in your computer. It's fine.
Okay, good. All right. I'm going to go ahead and bring it up now so that we start the faculty panel. That's going to include Professor Lyles as well as another faculty member who just also happens to be our vice chancellor and provost. But she teaches for us as well. So today you guys getting the royal treatment. You guys don't even know. So guys, I want to go ahead and welcome Dr. Robin Garrett. She is also one of our faculty members, and we're going to take the opportunity now to answer some of the questions that you might have of our faculty. And so those are some of those questions that maybe you've had about resources, or I've seen some about what do we need for our class. I've seen some of those questions along the way. Oh, there was also a question about what is HyFlex. I remember that question was in there. And so we want to answer that, but I haven't seen, is Dr. Garrett, are you there?
Yeah, she's here.
I'm here.
She's waving. She's at the top of mine. I don't know where. Maybe she unmutes
Okay,
and speaks.
I see her now.
I
see her
Oh,
now.
there she is.
Can we have her introduce herself really quickly before we answer what HyFlex is?
Sure. Hi, everybody. I'm Dr. Robin Garrett. I'm the Vice Chancellor of Academic and Student Success here at Central Texas College, but I also teach online courses. I teach both the learning frameworks and as well as the general psych class. And the general psych class is one of the ones that is an online self-paced with milestones. So hopefully we'll get to chit chat a little bit about that today in our conversations.
I think we need to start talking about what these different kinds of classes are, because, now you just mentioned one type and somebody else asked about HyFlex. So maybe you guys can start explaining what those things are.
I'm getting a lot of feedback. I don't know if somebody else has.
I think it's Matt.
Oh, I didn't have it before when Matt was on.
Yeah, it's just that when he has his speaker on versus a headset, that happens. It doesn't happen with everybody, but it just happens with him right now. I don't know why.
Okay.
Do you want to explain what the milestones are, Dr. Garrett, and then I'll have Matt explain what HyFlex is and go from there?
If I want to what?
Explain what it means to have an online class with milestones, the self-paced with milestones.
Sure. We have classes that they're listed as self-paced, but they have milestones in them. So when we say self-paced, we don't mean you can wait till the end to do things. When we say self-paced, it means the class is open. You can begin working on anything at your own pace, but there are certain milestones within the class that require you to turn things in by a certain due date. That way you can stay on track and you'll get the feedback that you need so that you can be successful moving forward with additional assignments. If you wait till the end and get all your assignments in, you don't have any feedback. So that's why the milestones are in place. And it's very important that you look at your syllabus. As Professor Lyles just showed in Blackboard, there's a syllabus and there's a very detailed table in there that lists all of the assignments and the due dates. And that's very important to follow because that's what makes sure that you understand those milestones dates. Did that kind of clear it up a little bit?
Yes. Yes, thank you. Professor Lyles, can we have you explain what HyFlex is? Because that's a very, very new thing. That's probably the newest thing we've had.
Yeah. Does this headset work better? Or did it kill the echo?
It helps a lot. Thank you.
Gotcha. Okay. So HyFlex gives you the flexibility as a student to either be present in the classroom or present as a live stream person wherever you're located. And it's your choice, basically. At present, it's still in the pilot phase. It keeps expanding. It's in the science department. So science does it, math does it just a little bit informally, but in the science department, they're doing it with anatomy and physiology 2, biology 2, and they're expanding that this semester with chemistry and a handful of others. So some feedback that we've received from that. I remember I was talking to our professor of anatomy and physiology. We just call it AMP. She said that she had a student who had a family situation come up and they would not have been able to complete the course without this HyFlex component. He literally had to physically leave the Colleen area and wasn't able to attend class anymore. But because they had the HyFlex option, he was able to, because of a job thing, I think, and he was still able to keep active in his job, but attend class from wherever he was located. And then I think in science, they still, if it's a lab course, they have to come back and they have to do the labs and the exams in person, I think is how they're doing it. It's a little different kind of in each department because each subject works a little differently. You know, some courses give you a lot more flexibility. I know I come from the math department. So in the math department, we have the ability to proctor our exams. And so you can take your exam remotely and still get it proctored as a HyFlex student. So those are the two subject areas where we're doing it. So like I said, you can either be live streamed exactly like we're doing right now, where you can see your professor and you can see whatever material, because there's a camera in the room looking at the board or their PowerPoint or whatever they got going. And the little cameras we're using for it have this little tracker mechanism on it. So as the professor may move while they're talking, the camera tracks with them, unlike my camera. And so they'll be centered and they can zoom in and out and do all kind of crazy things so that you feel like you're there in the class with the students. So you're, whether you're home or at, at some other location or in the classroom, you're still participating at the same level, basically. So there's speakers where you can actually speak and ask questions and do all of the things. So that's HyFlex. It's still kind of early doors. Like I said, it's a pilot program right now, but that's something we're doing to give some students some flexibility to where, life happens and sometimes you're unable to come in person. And I would say this, some feedback that we've gotten from faculty in regards to HyFlex. If you become a student that just chooses to not be present physically all of the time, not just when you have a situation come up, you're typically less engaged in the course and it typically does not end as well for the student. So you're typically more engaged if you come physically to the classroom when you're able to. This still gives you the opportunity to be able to go either way as life happens, but if you have the opportunity to come, that their experience is that you do better when you're in class as often as you can.
Okay, great. Thank you. Those are probably the more the two more difficult types of classes that we offer, just because one is brand new and then the other one, even though it's not totally new, it can be a little bit confusing for students. So thank you for explaining those two. The other thing I usually do with this is I would love it if you could please give our students a hot tip. And I'm going to start with Matt because I pretty much know what his tip is going to be, and I'll explain why we connected over COVID over this. So can you tell them what your tip is?
Okay, so I was originally known as the email guy because it is absolutely crucial that you check your I'm gonna look right at the camera. I'm pointing at you, right? It is absolutely crucial that you check your student CTC email. Think of it kind of like if you have a job, if you work at a place and you have a work email address and you don't check your work email, it's gonna end poorly. You know what I mean? For CTC, we send you official notifications to your CTC email. If you're using financial aid, all of your financial aid notifications will go to your CTC email. Any kind of official correspondence about anything, You know, if you have an issue, heaven forbid you get on academic suspension or probation or any of these types of things, the way you get notified there, the way your professors are contacting you, the way all of the things are happening through your CTC email. Now, you can forward your CTC email to a different one if you're like, I'm okay checking it, but I'd like it just to forward to a different place. That's a possibility. I think they're in the middle of changing it right now, so I'm not quite sure. I don't want to speak to how you do that, but either way, you will get an email as a new student with directions. They call it Eagle Mail. Mariceli can put a link in there with a little short video about Eagle Mail if she hasn't already. There's a short video where it talks about how you log in and do all the things. But your CTC email, I can't stress it enough, is crucial to your entire existence as a CTC student. I am hoping that was the hot tip she was expecting I was going to say. I would also, if I can add an addendum on that, I said it earlier when I was talking about Blackboard. Don't be afraid to ask your professor anything. Really, your professor is there as a resource for you. Ask them whatever you need to ask them. They want to help you. So please reach out to them. Email is easy. Like I showed you, you can also message them in Blackboard. Whichever is easier for you, they will respond to both.
Yes, thank you. Okay, Dr. Garrett, your hot tip.
Wow, Matt stole the email one from me, definitely, but that's really very, very important. Another hot tip would be if you're in an online class, just like if you're in a face-to-face class, attendance is so important. Log into your classes, check your announcements, read your messages within the class. If you don't log in, you're going to miss due dates, you're going to miss announcements, you're going to miss tips. Your instructors are most probably posting things all the time that will help you. And if you wait and you just log in to post an assignment, you're going to miss some of these hot tips or some of these recommendations. And one of the other things that I personally would recommend is please review your assignments, because your faculty will put comments in your work. They will give you feedback so that you can improve on your next assignments when you have writing assignments and things like that. So that it's important that you read those and you apply that to your next assignment so you can improve and increase your grades. One of the things I do, Marceli, in my class is I ask my students at the end for tips for future students. And I pulled a couple of them to relay, and I think some of them are very important. One that I loved that I just got this year is, this course is college level and should be respected as such. I think that is so important. I was very pleased that the student recognized that this is college, and take it seriously. This is a college level course. Most of the other ones are about time management. Manage your time well. Make sure that you've got a plan of action for getting your work done. Most of these classes, there's reading involved, there's discussion topics, there's work to be done. Even if you're a face-to-face student, you've got to come to your class prepared. So I think that the preparation and time management on the student's part is very, very important to be successful in your classes. Again, a lot of them said, be sure you read the syllabus and understand due dates and understand what's due. Start your assignments early. But another really cool one that was listed was try to relate your work to real life. If what you're working on, you can apply it to what you're doing in your real life or past experiences, or possibly future experiences, or friends' experiences, or family's experience, it'll help you understand the concept a lot more. So those are some of the tips that the students gave, and I thought that was very interesting to share.
Yes, thank you. Can you talk a little bit about usually the materials that are required in the class? Because I feel like that's something that we've had a lot of questions about today, and how that may vary from professor to professor sometimes, with it, even if they're teaching the exact same class.
Matt, do you want to take that one?
Sure. Okay, so again, syllabus is crucial. and reaching out to your faculty member is crucial. So I can tell you, so I teach math. My experience is that way, so I'm skewed that way. On the required materials, so there's a course materials website that if they haven't given to you, they will at some point. That you can go and check the materials for this course are boom, and you can order them or whatever, or you can just go to the bookstore and buy them. For our courses in math, we don't require a physical calculator. It's an optional thing, but we allow an online free website that is permitted to use during exams, so that we're saving you that money, because you can spend over $100 on a graphing calculator, and that could be a barrier for people to be able to succeed in a math course, and we don't want that to happen. We want you to be able to succeed, and free is a good price, and it's a quality product. So we take time as math faculty members to show our students, hey, there's this free resource here. Let's show you how it works. Especially if you're in a lecture class, there's time in class where we're like, okay, this is it. This is what it looks like. And for our online classes, we've made some YouTube videos and some things like that. But I would say from the moment you have access to your class, look at your syllabus, see if there's an announcement from, like Dr. Garrett said, the announcements and the messages from your faculty member. What do you really need? Do I really need to buy this book, or can I, download or whatever? Or they will tell you, and they will answer any question you have. So ask them directly. My financial aid hasn't kicked in yet, because sometimes that's a problem. You start the course, and financial aid for your textbooks hasn't finished processing or whatever. Communicate with your faculty member and say, hey, look, I haven't gotten this yet because of this. Can you work with me or whatever? And what's required, just so I make sure I'm getting the exact right thing. So I would just say communication is going to fix a lot of things. If you're confused at all, if you have any doubts, always ask.
Can I add to that? The syllabus is very, very important to access as soon as you can, so that you can see what the requirements are, definitely for your class. And many classes have online resources rather than you having to purchase a book. But if you're going to have to purchase a book, you want to try to get that before class. And so if you don't log in and look at your syllabus, you might need to try to figure out what you need for the class. There is a website on the CTC webpage called Books and Instructional Materials, and you can search for what your course requires there also. I would recommend being prepared for your class by doing that.
Okay. All right. Do we have any questions from anybody here? I think I saw something before Mr. Ali leaves. I know you said Blackboard would be available Friday. I missed where it was mentioned how to get your login information to access Blackboard.
So I just responded in the chat on that one, but I will respond out loud for other people as well. So like I was saying, I was told I called Distance Education before I came on this, just to kind of wanted to confirm. And they said 3 days before classes start, if you're a new student, if this is your first time taking a class, that they email you information about your login stuff, your username and your password, and with information on how to change things if you need to. Also, like I was showing, your username is just the lowercase letter C, and your user ID and your student ID. So C and your student ID, which you will have received in other emails as well. And then your password is just your 6-digit birth date. So month, day, year. And so you can log in at any point once you've registered for classes, but they send that email specifically to you directly 3 days before your class starts. And that's anytime you start a new class, you get access to it 3 days before the class starts. So we have start dates quite often. For online classes especially, we have them about once a month. But anytime you start a class, whether it's face-to-face or online, you will get access to your course 3 days before it starts. So typically the Friday before a Monday start.
Yes. And Marisol, you're right. You're going to get through the CTC student email. So this is where you got to check that Eagle Mail. We want to make sure that you're checking it.
Yeah, and if you, with the 3 days before the class starts, you can check that and then find out what instructional materials you need as well. I just put the link to the website for the books and instructional materials in the chat also.
All right. Do we have any other questions? Let me see really, really quickly because I know that we have limited time with our faculty and they have another meeting to go to soon. So I want to be respectful of that.
Can I say something just briefly while you're looking?
Please.
So
Go ahead.
on the web page, ctc.blackboard.com, at the bottom, there is information on how to log in and how to get support. So if you just go to ctc.blackboard.com, the phone number to call for support is there, or there's instructions there as well. So that's a nice, simple way to kind of get started as well. You don't have to wait for that. The moment you've registered for a class, your account is created. They don't tell you that's happening until the 3 days before the class starts.
Yes. All right. Thank you very much. I really do appreciate the time that you have given us here. We're going to move on and thank you for answering all these questions and being so great. I know this was kind of last minute and you guys are pinch hitting and I don't think our students realize how great we have it right now, having you two on board. So thank you. All right. So we're going to keep going. And I know that we've, Stacy, are you there?
Yes, ma'am, I'm here.
I know that it's still a little early for you, but they're dying to find out what's going on with financial aid. They want to know, we've had questions, what is going on with financial aid? Why is my financial aid not in my Eagle Self-Service? And you're the person that can help answer these questions.
I can try, I can attempt to, and I'll try to decipher what's been going on for you guys. So let me share my screen here.
So that you guys know, this is Stacy Pritt. She is is it assistant director?
Associate director.
Can't remember.
It sounds fancier than what it is. So this week, some of you may have gotten an email in your CTC email address. Some of you may not have checked your CTC email address, in which case I strongly suggest, like Mariceli and Dr. Lyles both said, get into that email address because we use that to communicate 99.9% of the time. That being said, this week, Department of Education did something that caused an issue with our technical side of the Pell Grant releasing. And because of that, I'm glad you like my PowerPoint. Because of that, it caused an issue with some of the Pell Grant being zeroed out for some students. Not all students. Apparently, it was a glitch with only certain students, in which case we are working diligently to get it fixed. We have fixed probably about 75% of students. If you still see a zero under your Pell, please contact us and we will get you fixed. That being said, I'm going to move along. And we're going to discuss a few things financial aid related to give you as much information as possible in the short amount of time I've got before VA takes over. Sound good? All right, Eagles, let's rock. So I am the Associate Director here for Financial Aid. I help handle things like your SAP appeals, talking to students, those kind of things, assisting with you getting your financial aid processed, explaining things that you need to do for financial aid. So today we're going to discuss grants, work study, student loans, and scholarships. So if you have not filled out the FAFSA, there are two currently available. Two. The 2025, which is for next academic year, which starts in August, and the 2024-2025 academic year, which is the one that we are currently in now. If you filled out a FAFSA and we have not sent you an email saying that we received your FAFSA, chances are you filled out the incorrect one. You need to go back in and double check. So be sure, here's some things that you need to know for financial aid purposes, as well as a lot of other things, again, that pertain to your student account. You need to have access to your Eagle Self-Service. That is where you're going to get the most up-to-date student finance information, okay? Funds are released to the business office 10 days prior to the start of class or the next business day. Right now, again, we had the issue with the Pell Grant, and we are working on getting that dispersed as quickly as possible. Refunds are processed by the Student Finance Department, and they generally start processing those 30 days after classes start date. That does not mean on the dot, 30 days after classes start date, you're going to see that money in your account. That means the Student Finance Department starts processing those returns. Make sure to add your bank account information to the Eagle Self-Service to receive your refund sooner. If you're getting a paper check and you get it, cash it immediately. Can't tell you how many students I have come in here 6 months later, they haven't cashed that check. That check has been canceled and those funds have been sent back to Department of Education and there's nothing we can do about it. That's why it's important that you add that account information to the Eagle Self-Service so it automatically goes into your account as well. First-time loan borrowers, loans released 30 days after the start of class once you are in 6 credit hours at the same time. CTC Financial Aid communicates with you via Eagle Mail account. So if you are having an issue, if we're having an issue with your account, if we need other documentation, if you've been put on suspension, anything along those lines, that's where we're going to communicate with you. Now, here's a peek at what your Eagle Self-Service Student Finance View will look like. This is from fall of 2018. Each of these little sections, they expand so they can give you more information. So when you pull up your student finance, spring of 2025 should have a link to it. You click on it, it'll open up to something along these lines. You'll have little bubbles that tell you how much your charges were, how much your payments were, if you made any payments, how much your financial aid was, if you had any sponsorships like VA, TA, MyCAA, whatever the case may be. And then your refunds, and then what your balance would be. Now refunds, if you have a refund coming, it will be in a negative amount there at the end. I repeat, it will show as a negative amount in your student finance year. Okay? And if you expand those sections, it'll give you a breakdown of what your charges entailed, what your payments entailed, what your financial aid entailed, your sponsorships, and then your refunds. Once they start processing your refund, you should see that refund tab. And when you expand that, it will tell you if they are processing your refund or if it has been processed. So here's some FAFSA information. Important information for those of us that are starting in the spring. Be sure that any of your classes you are registering for in by May 11th for the spring semester to be covered by financial aid. If a class goes between 2 semesters, so it starts at the beginning of May but ends in June or July, we will not cover that class. Consider crossing over semesters. All classes must be required for the active degree plan of study for financial aid to cover it. You must fall under that degree program. You must maintain satisfactory academic progress, and it is run at the end of each semester to determine your eligibility for the following semester. We just ran SAP progress on Monday, and we had several people that did not make satisfactory progress. So we're dealing with that as well. SAP standards are as follows: 67% completion rate for the term for all hours attempted and maintaining a 2.0 GPA. If you fall below either one of those, you are at risk for suspension. You need to lose your financial aid. Now here's some good news for you guys. Work study applications are open. Yay! So if you have what's called unmet need, which is basically determined by how much the Department of Education says you still need to meet the requirements for you to attend college. What you can do is you can submit a work study application through the e-forms for part-time employment here on campus. You must be in 6 credit hours, and you must meet the requirements for that specific job. So we have jobs all over the campus. There's people that have been working with Mariceli. We've got some in financial aid. We've got some over in the graphics department. We've got some over in Dr. Lyle's department. So they're all over the place. The gym, the library, you name it. Some deadlines to be aware of. Deadlines for submitting your FAFSA to be sure that we have you processed for that semester. If it comes in after that date, we will still process it, but we cannot guarantee that it will be ready for that semester. So for fall, the deadline was June 1st. For spring, it was October 1st. So if you got your FAFSA in after the October 1st deadline, we cannot guarantee that you will have funding for the spring. We'll still process you and you can still attend college, but we cannot guarantee that you will have financial aid for your classes. You may have to pay out of pocket to begin with. For summer, it is April 1st. Deadline for loans to apply for them for the spring is going to be March 30th. After that March 30th date, we will no longer allow you to accept your loans. You will need to wait until the summer to take loans out. Okay, so here's some information, some general information for financial aid, how to contact us, our email address, the loan officer's email address, and our hours of operation and where we're located at. This is a good one to screenshot, everybody. Give y'all a minute.
Well, you
Yes, ma'am. Go
you
ahead.
have a lot of questions.
I'm
You're
sure. I'm going to get
popular.
one last thing and then I'll answer any questions at that point. So the last thing is scholarships. The scholarship portal is open. I repeat, the scholarship portal is open for the foundation scholarships. They close February 28th. So I highly recommend that if you are wanting to apply for a scholarship, get on your little computer, fill out that application and submit it. And may the odds be ever in your favor. And that's the end. So now
Awesome.
I'm going to stop sharing. Let's see.
You're popular.
I am. I'm so popular.
All right, let's see. There's a lot of questions about if they got the email with the FAFSA, are they going to be able to start their classes on Monday?
If they contact us and if they do not have a Pell zeroed out on their account, if they are still showing that they have Pell, they're fine. We will disperse funds. They will be good to go. If they are showing a zero under their Pell, they need to contact us.
And the best way
And
to
we'll get it.
contact you is?
Is 254 is the 254-526-1508 is our direct line.
Okay. Just because there's a lot of questions because a lot of people are having issues and they want to talk to
Yes.
you.
Yes, there's a lot of people that have issues right now, and I understand we're working diligently to get it fixed. I've fixed about 30 of them today.
So my financial aid went through, I believe, but not my student loans, which covered the rest of my tuition. So will I be dropped from my courses?
Are you
If
a
that is-
first-time loan borrower? If you're a first-time loan borrower, those will not disperse until 30 days after classes start date, and the business office can see that you have those, and they will not drop you.
Okay. Okay. We'll talk
Also,
about that.
have you done your master promissory note and your entrance counseling? Because if both of those weren't complete, you'll need to get those complete as well before they can give you loans.
Okay. Does the 30-day refund apply to all students or just first-time borrowers? If not, what's the time frame for students who have received funding before? I think I missed a part.
Okay, so the 30-day refund applies to all students. So the way that works is 30 days, if we disperse funds those 10 days prior to classes start date, 30 days after classes start date is when the business office starts processing the refunds. If you are a first-time loan borrower, those loan funds will not disperse until 30 days after classes start date. And then the business office will have to process those as they come in.
Okay, there's questions about the contacting they've been trying to get through and it's been kind of hard. Is it better for them to email or call?
Either way, right now we are being swamped with phone calls. So if you want to come in, I suggest coming in and speaking to us directly, or just be patient and we promise we will get back to you.
Just so that you know, Destiny, we were closed last week, so they started doing whatever it is that they're doing on Monday. And so there's no way you could have gotten a hold of them before Monday.
Yeah, we hit the
Should
ground
they-
running on Monday.
Should they email the financial aid office if they can't? Should they send that?
Yes, go ahead and
And-
email us. If you can't get a hold of anybody, go ahead and email us. If you left a voicemail, we will get back to you. We have been returning voicemails like crazy today. So
What's the email address you want them to send to?
financial.aid@ctcd.edu.
Okay, I'll put it in the chat for everybody.
I have had a sponsorship cover my tuition. Am I still eligible for Pell Grants for supplies?
If you applied for financial aid and you got approved, yes,
So basically, if you have a sponsorship, you can still apply for the Pell Grant.
yes, absolutely, 100%.
And that goes with VA too, right?
Yes. Your VA
We'll talk-
certificate's going to show as 0. That's a standard.
Yeah.
We're located in building 215 downstairs. When you're coming in through the front doors, we're going to be to the left. If you're coming in through the back doors, we're to the right.
Okay. This is good. All right. Do we have any other questions or anything like that? I feel like the most questions right now are like, help.
Yes.
Which we understand.
Yeah.
It's not just everybody else.
No, and they're not alone. There was, and it was a technical issue, and we worked to get the technical issue resolved. But once the issue was resolved, there wasn't a way for us to reset everybody in an efficient way. So we're trying to work through those as they come in. We were able to renew a lot of people, but some of them fell through the cracks, and we're working on getting those fixed as well.
Yeah, and Anai, I want you to understand, we don't want you to ever send us a screenshot about this, just because this is very personal information and it's going to be very individualized. So,
Yes.
Please, even if you could, please don't, because we want to be safe when it comes to that your personal information. Okay, and they need
Yes.
to look at it individually for each person.
Yeah.
So
Each student is a different situation. No two students are the same.
okay, we're gonna go. Can somebody give Carlos the link to the campus map, please? If this doesn't get fixed, can we start our classes, or would you have to pay out of pocket?
If you have a 0 for your Pell, you need to contact us. That is the only issue we are currently having at the moment. It should get fixed before Monday's classes.
That's what we're rooting for, guys.
Yep.
All right. I thank you, Stacy. I'm going to kind of stop it here for a moment. Thank you, Jennifer, for putting the campus map in there for anybody that has any questions. If you are able to stay on a little bit, great. If not, please go take care of these students. We really appreciate you being here and answering those core questions, because it happens. Things happen.
I've been fixing them while we've been on here too. So just
okay. So
as they
just
come
keep
in.
trekking along.
Yep. I'll keep an eye on the chat too.
Okay. Well, thank you very much. I don't know if is Jen there. Jen, are you?
Sure
I see
am.
you now. All right. So now we're going to transition to Jen Stembridge for the VA, and I saw some questions about our veteran.
I did too. So I saw a
stuff,
lot of questions in there. So again, my name is Jen and I'm with Veteran Services. This is kind of going to be a little short and sweet here because I know we've got a lot going on and we would like to move on. So some of these were answered already by Stacy. So Mariceli, if you want to throw my contact information up on the screen, I'll put it in the chat as well. So as Mariceli always says, this is a good screenshot one. Take pictures if you need contact information for us. And then next, if you'll do the chapters. So there's lots of different benefits that we process here in Veteran Services. We assist with the veterans benefits as well as their dependents. We've also got 2 people that work with the VA directly that work up on our floor, and we are here same building as financial aid. We're in building 215 on the 2nd level. We also process Hazelwood. So go back 1 page. There you go. So this is the contact information for Veteran Services. So take a quick snap of that. And Right now, please know that we are working tirelessly to get everybody's VECs and Hazelwood applications processed. But we are having a lot of backup because of the holidays and being out and everything, and the start date. So once she gets to, there we go. Go ahead. That's another one that you might want to take a screenshot of. That's all the different chapters. Again, we are trying to make sure that we get everything processed as quickly as we can. Just remember that for future references, if you have not submitted your VEC already, go ahead and do it now. It just may be after the start date that it gets processed. But I like to tell people, think of your VEC as part of your registration process. So when you register for your classes, fill out your VEC, because it can come up like this where we're a little bit backed up because of, you know, the start date and the holidays. But we also want to make sure that everyone knows that not next week, excuse me, it is the 22nd, the morning of the 22nd. Let me double check. I want to give you the right information. Yeah, so the morning of the 22nd, in building 215 on the second floor, financial aid, veteran services, and testing are going to be having a little hot cocoa, coffee social, and cookies. So that'll be a good time for you to come on up and ask us any questions that I wasn't able to answer today. You can give us a call at that phone number. I recommend email as well, probably the easiest way to get a hold of us. But if you guys don't have any other questions right now, I will continue to look at the chat and see what's going on with that. But
Can you
that
go
is
over this part really quick?
Oh,
This
yes,
slide?
absolutely. So this is the VA representatives that I was talking about. Another one you can screenshot if you are a veteran. They are our VRNE counselors, and they can help you with your Chapter 31 questions, the VRNE program. And it's really convenient. They're right here in our office. So we can usually get you in same day. Right now it's a little bit busy, so they've been kind of packed schedules as well. But anytime you want to come in, we can get you in to see them, and they can answer questions regarding the VRNE program and the other things that VRNE can offer you. So if you have any questions, reach out to one of us.
Okay.
Awesome.
I don't know. Let me
Yeah,
see.
I don't see anything. I'll put our contact information down in there. But I'll kind of keep an eye on the chat too, and I'll respond to questions as I see them.
Great. Thank you very much.
Thank you.
All right. I'm gonna kind of go back a little bit because now it's my turn about talking about a few things that has to do with student rights and responsibilities. Michaela, the checks from Veteran Services are mailed to us, or do we have to pick them up? Any disbursement, I think, is basically done the same way for us, isn't it, Jen?
So that payments from the VA come directly from the VA. Generally, when you sign up for your benefits, you have to put your bank information in so that it can be direct deposited. So it should be direct deposited. Unfortunately, we don't have the exact answers to your account because we work for CTC and we process your benefits. We don't have access to all the VA databases and everything. So that would be a question to ask them if they have your bank account on file.
Okay, thank you. Great. All right, we're going to keep going. Student rights and responsibilities, and some resources in general. We talked a little bit about resources already, but let's talk now about the student rights and responsibilities. So One of there's a few things that we kind of have to go over, and one of them has to do with what's called Title IX. Title IX is part of the Department of Education, and it says that we have to give equal opportunities to all of our students in terms of their education. In the sense that we're going to talk about now specifically, we just need to discuss that all discrimination is prohibited, including sexual discrimination. And if you, for some reason, are either a victim of or you're aware of a student or somebody that has been a victim of sexual misconduct or discrimination, we do have an online form. It is on the bottom, very bottom of our website, and you can just scroll down and see it. You can also contact our Title IX coordinator right now. That is Mr. Murphy. That is his email. And if you feel like, especially if you feel that you're an immediate threat or you need help, you can also contact Campus Police, and that is your phone number. I always encourage everybody to have Campus Police phone number. So in case you have any questions or if you need some assistance. Now, the link I mentioned, it's on the website at the very bottom, but this is also the online reporting form, and that is the link, the website for that. And if you want more information about Title IX, we have a whole website dedicated to it, as well as a video that talks about consent. One of the things, if you are going to be a student on our campus, we do have a lot of minors on campus. Just because they look like they're old enough does not mean that they are old enough. Also, that could also go for online classes. So be mindful, as long as everybody's being respectful and kind of keeping in mind that this is an educational, academic, and professional setting, then you should not have any issues. But if for some reason you do and you need to make a report, this is where you would go. We also have a student handbook, and that is the website for it. That includes the code of conduct. It talks about the information for Title IX, as well as what we expect of all of our students. And we highly encourage you to look at it so that you are aware as to what we're going to ask of you. And another important document that we have is the college catalog. A lot of the times, individuals don't know, oh, what am I going to do? Like, what degree plan? The college catalog includes all our degree plans, all the classes that we offer, as well as what are the requirements so that you can actually get your degree. It's got a lot of very detailed information about academic policies and things of that nature. And everybody should really take a look at it and really get familiarized with it. If you have any questions about what catalog year applies to you, please contact your advisor, because once you declare a degree, then you get assigned a catalog year. And what that does is that you're going to follow that degree plan. Even if the degree plan gets changed later on, everything will go. The department will look and see, oh, these are the classes that you need based on the year that you got assigned that degree plan. So that's why it can also be important for y'all. Expectations for a student is that you have to advocate for yourself. This is a college environment, a little bit like what Dr. Garrett was saying. You have to understand how important it is that this is a college environment and that we're going to treat you like adults. And that means that you have to self-advocate regardless of what's going on. We also have something that's called FERPA. FERPA is a federal mandate where we have to be very aware of, and we have to be careful of who we share your personal information with. That's very similar to something in the health and in health, it's called HIPAA. For the educational setting, it's called FERPA. And we cannot talk to anybody, whether it be about your academic records or your conduct, without your consent in writing. Syllabus he's talked about, that is a contract for your class. Make sure that you read it. Attendance we've talked about already and how important it is so that you can be successful. Integrity, that is very important. Honesty in your class, making sure that you're not cheating, you're not copying. And the librarians, for example, can help you if you're writing a project and you need to cite. The faculty, we're going to ask you to cite things a certain way. The librarians can help make sure that you're doing it correctly. But don't copy work. they find out. They will end up finding out. So please just don't do it. We have a lot of guidelines and procedures when it comes to cheatings and plagiarism, disruption of class, all of that. And you can find that in the student handbook. We talked a little bit about Title IX already and resources. So you should be familiar with those. Again, these are the links to the student handbook and the college catalog. If you ever have a concern and you want to report a grievance, you can go ahead and do so through our website. We have an online complaint form. And then if you want to report any sexual misconduct, you can do that as well. And let me see, I think that is my part because we kind of went over most of anything. I don't think I've seen any questions come through, but I am going to move because I moved a lot of things. So just bear with me really quickly because we have to get through this. And I think there's only one other thing that okay. Paying for classes really quickly. If you need to pay for your classes, please, you can do so through the Eagle Self-Service or Army Ignited, depending on if you are an Army active duty student. If you have any questions, you can contact our business office and they will go ahead and help you. But also, we talked a little bit about this. If you're sending tuition assistance, if you're paying with tuition assistance, you need to send your tuition assistance payment or the copy of it to this website. To this email, and they will go ahead and process it. And I know somebody was talking about the joint service transcript earlier, and if we need to receive it, this is where we need you to send it, or any other transcript. Honestly, it needs to come to this address. So please take a picture of that. And if you have questions, you can contact either Incoming Transcripts or Eagles on Call, and they will help you out. Last but not least, we're going to talk a little bit about safety and security. We have a campus police, and they are here. They're police officers, and they are certified by the state of Texas. They attend a police academy, and they have powers and jurisdictions between Bell and Coryell County here in Texas. Our campus Central Campus is right smack in the middle of both counties, in the county line, So we actually have jurisdiction in both. Regardless of where you're taking classes, if we feel that there's an issue or security, our campus police may still coordinate with local police or security forces to make sure that you are safe, or that if there's something that they need to handle, they will go ahead and address it with depending on what location you are. We have students in military bases and things of that nature. And so if they need to coordinate with base security or police, they will do so, or anywhere actually, but specifically most of our students that are out of state are tied to some sort of military installation. Police services available here on our central campus. They can help with any calls of service. If you have parking permits, they will help you with. And I know somebody put in the chat earlier, yes, as of right now, they close at noon. So if you need a parking permit, please come in early. That doesn't mean that we don't have police here on campus 24/7. It just means that the office is closed, or it's only open in the mornings right now. And they can also help you with unlocking and jump-starting vehicles. They can escort students to either classrooms or vehicles if you feel like maybe you're a little bit uncomfortable, maybe you're leaving late and it's dark. They also maintain a lost and found, and they have first aid abilities. We always encourage our students to save campus police phone number. This is the number that will get you directly to a police officer or dispatcher 24/7. So please go ahead and take a moment and just copy that, or at least put it in your phone or screenshot it. Some of the things that campus police will do is make sure that they enforce the student code of conduct. They help with the zero tolerance when it comes to Title IX, sexual assault, harassment, dating violence, drug and alcohol abuse, smoking, free speech, expressive activities. and violations of the law. They do, however, if you want to have free speech on campus, there is a form that needs to be filled out so that way we are made aware of it and we can tell you exactly what's needed so that you can express yourself through free speech. Here's another one of my favorite things that we have. This is the Eagle Emergency Alerts. And you go, what does that mean? Why is that important? Let me tell you why it's important. Because tomorrow we're supposed to have some potential bad weather. And if the decision is made that we're going to close tomorrow, the campus, then they're going to send out an emergency alert. And so we need to know if we are on campus, you will potentially hear if there's an emergency. We have sirens and things around campus. Like if there's like a tornado or something like that, we have sirens around campus. And if you're inside the building and there's some sort of emergency, if you have to shelter in place or something along those lines, there's sirens here that you will listen to, whether it be inside or outside of the building. But in case of an emergency and tomorrow it freezes or they cancel work for me or classes for you, however that may work, they're going to send up a text and or call us and let us know what's going on and what the important information that might be pertinent to us. So if they say, oh, you don't have to go back, campus is closed, we don't want you to come in, I always hope that we get that before I leave my house so that I can just kind of go back to bed. Everybody is automatically included in this, but you should always check and make sure that the information in there is correct. And so this is one of those that you can screenshot and go to this website, make sure that we're going to be sending the information to the correct email that you want us to send it to, or the correct phone. You can also add multiple emails and phones. If you have like a spouse or a parent and you want to make sure that they get that information, you can just go ahead and add it in there as well. Well, here in Texas, in Central Campus, Texas is an open carry state. However, there are some limitations, and within our campus, we do not allow open carry unless you are a police officer, basically. You have to conceal carry and you have to have a license to carry. So here's some information on that. We do have some gun-free zones that you need to be aware of. And so even if you have the license to carry, you still need to make sure that you are not carrying in some of these areas here. And this is another one. They have an avoid, deny, defend video. This is out of YouTube. You are welcome to check it out whenever you have a chance. And it is actually a great video. In case of active shooting, you are welcome to just learn how to take care of yourself by either avoiding the situation, denying entry, or defending yourself as necessary. I think I finished everything. Did I just finish everything? Am I missing anything? That is all we really have. This is the last slide. Again, this is the websites that you can contact us, and you, if you have questions, you don't know what to do, who to talk to, just email us and we will do everything within our power to help you out. That was a lot, wasn't it, guys? But let me see if we have any questions. Oh, Joe, I'm not sure. Is that you're excited, huh? Yeah. You're feeling it? You're feeling it? Yes, you're feeling it. I see that. Okay. Is there a way to apply for jobs? Yes, there's 2 ways to apply for jobs. So if you qualify for financial aid or VA, they have their students. They offer potentially jobs through them. If not, Stacy went ahead and added a link. There are jobs. I currently have jobs have at least one that is open to students. So that's really something that we are always looking to hire So please, and if it says student in front of it, it's specifically for a student. And we are understanding of the fact that you might have to go to class or, you know, and you need to study. So that department will take all of that into consideration when hiring. But you can always talk to them a little bit more also.
Hey, and I want to remind everybody that we also have tutoring positions available in the academic studio. I know you're new students, you may not have college experience yet. Some of you might, but keep that position in mind as well, because if you're a good student, we would love to hire you as a tutor.
Yes, we would. Let me see. Tell me. Okay. I want to share one other thing. And I don't know. Can you see? Am I sharing? Yes. Okay. Look at this. Look at this. Welcome weeks. We have a whole week of events scheduled for you guys. And so these are all the things, the first few days, first weeks, if you're lost, we're going to have maps and schedules to help you figure it out. All of these are events that we have figured out to help you CTC login help. If you're like, oh my God, I don't know how to get into Blackboard, or I don't know how to get into eTreat or in my Eaglemail. We're going to have a whole session of that. It's going to be virtual. We're going to have tutoring sessions. Let's see, financial aid and veteran services are going to be back and go into more details if people have more questions. We're going to have a whole session on professionalism, and that's going to be through our career services. Fishing for Success up in our academic studio. This is when you can actually meet the tutors that we have available, as well as have some fun while you're out there. I can't remember if it was Stacy or Jen who mentioned it, but they're having the Cocoa Coffee Bar event over in their area over there. Go check it out. The library always has a ton of activities going on. I told you they're fun staff. Go check out what they have to do, what they're offering over there. Then Disability Support Services has their bingo. You can go check out and have some fun with them over there, play some bingo. This is open to all students, by the way. Then our mental health counselors are going to have their open house on the 22nd. And then the grand finale of those 2 weeks is going to be the Welcome Bash on Thursday, the 23rd from 10 to 1:30, where we have a whole bunch of things happening in the Anderson Campus Center on the second floor. The other thing is that here in the student lounge, I haven't put it up here yet, but we figured it out today. Building 220 in the student lounge, which is the Roy J. Smith building. On Wednesday, we're going to be having some snacks and stuff to welcome our students. So you're welcome to come check it out. Ride the Wave of Success with CTC. This is for all students. Of course, we want to welcome all the new students, but you know, if you've been a student before and you want to come join us, we would love to have you, because maybe at some point you're actually going to learn something that you didn't know from before that can make you even more successful through your journey. So yes, we have a lot of events. Come check it out. These are specifically for welcome weeks. Another thing that you could do, if you go to About CTC in the Central Campus event calendar, we're going to have, you're going to see a lot of stuff that is going to be happening. This is by day, but you'll see a lot of stuff will be eventually put in there. Byways reception, and there's all kinds of other stuff that will be going on. And that's another way that you can go ahead and find out what is happening on our campus. So any other questions? Where can you see the events? Yes, just go to the website, the main website right now. Oh, I stopped sharing my screen, didn't I? Sorry, guys. I apologize. But here we go. Do you see it now? Nope, I shared the wrong thing, didn't I? Sure did. Sure did. The Google. Is that it now? Yes. So this is right now, even in the very front page. If you just go to ctcd.edu, this scrolls on through and there's all kinds of other stuff going on there. But if you look at it, it's one of the ones that move, and just click on Learn More. It's going to take you to the Welcome Week events. It's going to show you all the events in there. So that's how you get to that. And then we also have it through About CTC Central Campus Event Calendar. We'll put some stuff in here too. There'll be stuff in there as well. So those are the two ways that you get to Yes, Nia, tutoring is free. All you have to do is come on over, check out the tutors, come talk to them. Now, occasionally you might have to make an appointment because some of them are very popular. But we really encourage everybody to go see their tutor. I'm going to tell you right now, go see your tutors that first week. Just check them out. Go up there, see what they have to offer. They actually do tutoring in person, but also they can do it virtually. If for some reason you're either not in Texas or nearby, you just need to schedule it ahead of time and go talk to them and say yes. And I would say start being like, yes, at least once a week, you're meeting with a tutor, whether you need it or not, whether you think you need it or not. And you're kind of checking in with them and having them help you with your homework or whatever it is that you might need. That's how you become successful. Figure out your resources and use every single one of them. Our resources are pretty much free for all of y'all. Use them. The people that use them are the ones that end up being the most successful. All right, what else? Any other questions? Yes, Bia, thank you for bringing it up. 10 pages of free printing a day in the tutoring room. That's very generous, guys. Very, very generous. What else? What else? Anything else? Come on. Yes, meet your tutor on the 28th and the 29th as well. They have all kinds of stuff going on there throughout the semester. They have a lot of activities. Again, go up there and meet the tutors. Really take the time to meet people on campus and ask questions. That's one of the ways that you become successful. Okay, we're at time, guys. Thank you so much for bearing with us and making it so far with us. I really appreciate you being here this entire time. We're grateful to you. We're excited to have you here next week or whenever it is that you're starting your classes. So we hope to hear from you and help you however we can. We hope you found this to be a positive experience and that you gained the knowledge that you need to be successful. In the meantime, we will see you around. You have a great time and stay warm, guys, because it's expected to be very chilly pretty soon. Bye, guys.